Are you drowning in clutter in need of some extra space? Look no further than the Storage Shed in Baxter Springs. With a wide range of sizes and options available, the Storage Shed has the space that suits you best with 24-hour access, all in a secure facility. They even have storage containers. Plus, the Storage Shed is your authorized U-Haul rental store right here in Baxter Springs. Visit them today at 2903 Military Avenue or call 620-856-3906.
Route 66 Hardware is your trusted hardware store in the heart of Baxter Springs, with just about everything you might need from around the house to the back 40. Top quality tools, equipment, and supplies with a wide range of products. Be on the lookout for big changes coming to Route 66 Hardware. All inventory has been discounted to make room for a new line of products from an all-new vendor. Be patient as Route 66 looks to grow, expand, and continue their commitment to quality customer service. Route 66 Hardware in Baxter Springs.
I used to drive an ambulance as an EMT, and I've always tried to be a safe driver. If people knew what I know, lives could be saved. In my car, if I see a truck or bus taking a turn, I know to take my time. When big vehicles turn right, they may swing wide to make the turn. If you try to sneak in, well, it's a lesson you'd rather not learn the hard way. When trucks and buses turn, let's you and I wait. It's our roads, it's our safety.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to embark on a mouth-watering journey down the legendary Route 66? Look no further than Bricks and Brews Woodfire Grill and Pub in the heart of Baxter Springs, Kansas. Start your culinary adventure with their delicious wood-fired pizzas. Keep it rolling with their classic appetizers and crisp salads. Plus, don't miss live music and so much more. Take a detour from the ordinary and head to Bricks and Brews in Baxter Springs, a taste bud trip down Route 66.
Question: what will you find on all over-the-counter or OTC medicine packages to help you choose the right drug and use it safely? The answer? The Drug Facts label. This label lists the medicine's active ingredients and purpose, how much to take, and warnings you should know before using it. Remember, even OTC medicines you buy without a prescription can cause side effects you don't want. So follow the information listed on the Drug Facts label. For more information, visit fda.gov/Drug Facts label. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Well, okay, hold on. Let me fix this real quick, and then we'll be able to get it going. Well, maybe they have it. Who knows? If you do have audio and you're hearing this right now, I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. If you don't have audio right now, then what I say is not really going to matter. But I'm going to let you guys know that the pregame show is brought to you by Route 66 Hardware, your trusted hardware store located in... Oh, we have audio. Let's go. Thanks, Nick. All right. Thank you guys so much. Anyways, back to regular scheduled programming. Pregame show is brought to you by Route 66 Hardware, your trusted hardware store located in Baxter Springs, serving the community with top quality tools, equipment, and supplies. Everything you need for home, lawn, garden, and more is at Route 66 Hardware, 109 East 12th Street in Baxter Springs, or call 620-856-3300. Stop in and ask about the big changes coming soon. All right, we're back. If you guys couldn't hear that, you probably could have seen it at least. Peyton Gaines got crowned homecoming king. Libby Qualls crowned homecoming queen. Big night for them guys. Now, of course, homecoming's always kind of a worry because there's a lot of distraction going on. And Parsons is a good team. One thing that Baxter cannot do is get distracted coming out here against this really good Viking team. That's something my head coach always used to tell me, and I'm sure any coach would tell you. They hate homecoming. It's just there's a lot going on. It distracts the players, and they're worried about who's more pretty and not who's the better team. Speaking of teams, though, we're going to get into the starting lineups tonight. We do not have a sponsor yet for starting lineups, guys. If you would like to sponsor, please let us know. We're up in the press box right now. Come and tap on my shoulder. I'll pause everything to listen to your wants and needs about sponsoring. But if you'd like to just send an email, send it out to Harris Media Services LLC at gmail.com. That's where you can get in touch with BJ Harris, the boss, the man, the guy who sets up everything. With that all being said, let's get to this Viking starting lineup. The men in the trenches. I'm going to start with them tonight because I usually end with them. We got number 50, Corbin Harris, a 5'7" junior, weighing in at 205 pounds. Coming in at 295 pounds, the 6-foot junior, Demias Johnson. He's number 52. I saw him warming up earlier. He is a massive human being. Coming in at 5'8", 185 pounds, the junior, Bryson Yauman, number 54. Number 58, Brody Boss, the senior, coming at 5'10", 240 pounds. Number 77, Sam Brewer. Number 77, Sam Brewer. He's a senior, 6'5", 285 pounds. That's going to be their big lineman of the night. Next, we go to the QB, number 5, Trey Mack. He's also a senior, coming in at 5'10", 150 pounds. Number 9, Cade Brown, a senior as well, coming at 6'1", 220 pounds, is housing the tight end spot tonight. Number 11, Landon Wheat, coming in at wide receiver number 1. He's 6'3", might be a good matchup tonight for Jacob Grant here over on the corner side. Number 18, J.J. Kendrick, a senior, at 6 foot, 160 pounds, also playing the wide receiver spot. And at the running back spot, I left him for last because I think he's probably going to be their key player tonight. Number 22, Jamarian Washington. He's been their stud all 4 years that he's been able to play. And I think they're going to lean on him a lot tonight. So that's why I left him for last. But who cares about that? Nick, give us that Lions starting lineup.
Well, since you decided to go with the men in the trenches first, I will also go with the Baxter Springs Lions offensive line first and foremost. At number 54, Caleb Pujols, a 6'2" senior, coming in at 247 pounds. Number 51, Gage Maggard, a 5'8" senior, coming in at 150 pounds. Number 61, Brooks Walker, a 226-foot freshman. Number 70, Kyler Charlo, a 6'1" junior, coming in at 200 pounds. And normally at center, we would have number 56, Ivan Ogle, but due to an injury that happened a couple weeks ago, number 50, Avery Hunt, a 5'10" sophomore, is going to be in that starting lineup tonight for the men in the trenches. As for the playmakers, the players that get out there, put points on the board, and at quarterback, we have number 13, homecoming king, Peyton Gaines. Around him in the backfield is number 22, Sam Weaver, and number 24, Nolan Duncan. And then the pass catchers out wide tonight are going to be number 12, Zach Price, number 7, Javen Alexander, and number 4, Jacob Grant.
Those are your starting lineups for tonight. We're going to take another quick break here. When we come back, we'll have some keys to the game, what we expect to happen in this game, and how your Baxter Lions can take them down, and so much more. Action coming soon here on Varsity Sports Live.
Looking for a pharmacy that truly cares? Look no further than Volker Drug, your hometown pharmacy in Baxter Springs. Locally owned and rooted in our community, check out their large selection of everything you need to keep your family happy and healthy. You can even print your photos at Volker Drug. Take advantage of their convenient drive-thru or local delivery with Volker's Smart Cars. For seniors, Volker offers free Medicare Part D consultations. Volker Drug, where your health and community come together in Baxter Springs. Check us out online at volkerdrug.com.
Prescription drug pricing points to corporate
Freedom of the press is about your right to know. It's about your right to be informed. Today, there are real threats to press freedom and your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you. Before it's too late, understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
For more than 20 years, Gherkin Rental has been the place to go to get the job done in eastern Kansas and western Missouri. With a huge selection of quality equipment, from roll-offs to trailers, telehandlers to generators, power washers to popcorn makers. Experienced equipment professionals and clean, well-maintained tools to help you get the job done right. the first time. Gherkin Rental. Stop by any of their 13 locations across the KC Metro or call 855-GHERKINS. That's 855-437-5367.
Hello, Four States. This is Jay Hatfield with Jay Hatfield Motorsports. We've been serving the Four States area with motorcycles, ATVs, and side-by-sides, plus offering you parts and service since 2005. We have 2 convenient locations, Pittsburgh and Joplin, selling quality brands such as Polaris, Kawasaki, Yamaha, Can-Am, and Suzuki. Jay Hatfield has a huge inventory available for immediate delivery. We offer financing options and an extensive selection of accessories. Most important, we're making deals. Come in and get your fun started today at Jay Hatfield Motorsports in Pittsburgh or Joplin.
Our whole vision of becoming the four-state agency was because we want to be able to grow with our clients, whether they have a lake house in Oklahoma, whether they're starting a business and expanding into Arkansas. We want to make sure that they're taken care of, whether it's home, auto, financial services, or even life insurance. We want to walk through the stages of life with our clients. That's the biggest part. That's what makes us different.
Number one, obviously, is safety. We definitely call 811 to find out if there are any buried lines, fiber optic, whether it be telephone or pipeline or anything. Don't take a chance. Don't think you know and say, well, I don't remember anything being put in there. Call 811 and make sure that that's identified, that there isn't something there before you make that crossing. Because in the end, we want everybody going home.
Well, welcome back, everyone, to Out here at Baxter Springs, Kansas, as the Parsons Vikings get ready to take on the Baxter Springs Lions. And we're getting ready to go here. We got about, looks like 5 minutes and 45 seconds left to go here in the pregame show. I promised you guys some keys to the game. So, Nick, tell me, what do our Lions have to do to take down the Parsons Vikings?
Well, if we're going to look on the offensive side of the ball, first and foremost, then I have 2 keys of the game for the Baxter Springs Lions. And that is something that we've seen them struggle with here these past 2 games, and that's to get going early. The Baxter Springs Lions have had those early struggles, and against a team like Parsons, that's not going to be able to work out in their favor if they have that tonight. So they have to get going. They have to start making the connections early, be able to put points up on the board, as well as trying not to abandon the run game. Last year, when they faced off against the Parsons Vikings, the Baxter Springs Lions only had 22 carries for 28 yards. If they can go out, get going early, get the run game established, it should also take a lot of pressure off of quarterback Peyton Gaines and let him be able to sling the ball freely tonight. Going from the offensive side of the ball to the defensive side of the ball, for the last key of the game is to contain the Parsons Vikings run game. As Darrell said earlier, Jamarian Washington for the Parsons Vikings is a key part of the Parsons Vikings offense. Last season, when these 2 teams faced, Washington had 9 carries for 106 rushing yards. So if they can contain him early, things should go in the way of the Baxter Springs Lions.
I completely agree with you. Those are your keys of the game. Thank you so much, Nick. As our captains get ready to walk out to the middle of the field. I had a chance to walk the field tonight. It's going to be a muddy one. We had a little bit of rain here out in Baxter. It's currently a nice 80 degrees and everything's cooled off. That sun's starting to go down. You couldn't tell it now, but it was a downpour last night, a little bit this morning. And of course, you Baxter fans know, if you get an inch of rain out here, on the field it's more like 3 inches because we're down here in the toilet bowl, right in the middle of everything. All the water sources go right down to it. Plus, you got the creek on the other side of the field where the visitor stands are. Water tracks. But aside from that and how hard it is and how muddy a game it's going to be, I'm actually really excited. I kind of wish it was still raining so we could see a nice prime-time brawl here between the 2 teams. But I got some area matchups for you guys. Tonight, seemingly a huge game. Kind of some controversy over here between me and the guys in the press box. They think Frontenac's going to win. I think Girard's going to win. Frontenac traveling up north to face off against the Girard Trojans. The Colgan Panthers going down to Southeast tonight to face off the Lancers. Should be a landslide victory there, I imagine. Galena traveling over to Columbus. That'll be an interesting game. Both teams lost a lot of seniors, so I'm curious to see how they face off against each other. Wichita Trinity is facing off against Heston tonight. Now, you might be wondering why in the heck I'm mentioning them. It's because we played them later in the season, so I'd like to keep track of what their scores are. Looks like the Lions won the toss and elect to receive. No shock there. Fort Scott traveling to Pittsburgh tonight to face off the Purple Dragons. And in case you guys care at all, Nebraska Kearney is coming here to Pittsburgh as well tomorrow night to face off against the Pitt State Gorillas. Well, looks like Baxter won the kickoff. They elected to receive. We'll take a quick break, our last one of the pregame show. When you come back, it'll be straight into Lions football. You're watching Lions football here on Baxter Spring Sports Live.
Are you drowning in clutter and need of some extra space? Look no further than the Storage Shed in Baxter Springs. With a wide range of sizes and options available, the Storage Shed has the space that suits you best with 24-hour access, all in a secure facility. They even have storage containers. Plus, the Storage Shed is your authorized U-Haul rental store right here in Baxter Springs. Visit them today at 2903 Military Avenue or call 620-856-3906.
Route 66 Hardware is your trusted hardware store in the heart of Baxter Springs, with just about everything you might need from around the house to the back 40. Top quality tools, equipment, and supplies with a wide range of products. Be on the lookout for big changes coming to Route 66 Hardware. All inventory has been discounted to make room for a new line of products from an all-new vendor. Be patient as Route 66 looks to grow, expand, and continue their commitment to quality customer service. Route 66 Hardware in Baxter Springs.
Welcome back out here to Baxter Springs, Kansas. John R. Hughes Memorial Stadium. As you can see, the Vikings get ready to kick off to Baxter Springs. Now, one thing I saw in the Vikings warm-up that might shock you guys is they might have a kicker that's, I don't want to say equal to Mr. Grant down there getting ready to receive, but he was a darn good kicker. He was kicking from the 40-yard line, from the 45-yard line. He almost made one from the 50 tonight. So that'll be an interesting matchup, a battle of the kickers, if you will, as he gets ready to kick off. All I got to say is, Vikings, welcome to the Lions' Den. And another night of Friday Night Lights is off as that kick is up and away, and Jacob Grant receives it at the 10-yard line. He comes to the near side, getting chased down. He's going to try and make a break through. Not going to get far, though, and going to take it down around the 22-yard line.
Here we go. Baxter Springs Lions offense coming out, trying to make a statement here early on. Last season when they played, the Lions offense could not get anything going. They only scored 8 points in the matchup here. So this will be a key first drive to set the tone.
Yes, it will. Baxter Springs coming out in that common pistol formation, but they got a wide set on the offensive line. Oh, under center for Peyton Gaines. He's going to take the snap and hand off to Alexander. He's going to lower the shoulder. Not going to go anywhere, though. It's going to be 2nd down and 10 from the 24-yard line.
Alexander, a big body to have in that backfield, standing at 6'3", 200 pounds. Very easy for him to break tackles. However, when two Vikings are able to stand him up on the line of scrimmage, it's hard for him to do anything.
That's exactly right as they come back out here. I guess that was one thing that we should have noted in those starting lineups is that Javen Alexander came in late in that last game and took over the running back position, running the speed option. Gaines going to tuck and run. A good block there from Sam Weaver. He's going to dive. Short of the first down by about, let's say 4 yards. So it's going to be 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, you talked about Alexander being able to come in during that second half and take over the run game. Well, Gaines was the one that started the run game there early off in that second half. As we see there, he declines the option, uses his own legs to get it into third and manageable.
Third and manageable here as they come out and it looks like they're going to run the I-form formation. I'm just shocked right now. I did not expect the Lions to come out in such a heavy running formation. That ball is fumbled after the under the center snap. And it looks like Parsons came up with it. A rough start for the Lions as the snap was bobbled, and it looks like Parsons is going to recover it, and they're going to have the ball quick here on their own 26-yard line.
Rough way to start, or rough way to end your first drive. Three and out, essentially. And just a bobbled snap was all it took to give the Parsons Vikings tremendous field position.
And something that coaches always say is you always want to end in a kick, never in a ball on the grass. The handoff to the big man, Jamarian Washington. He is not easy to bring down there as he breaks a couple of Lion tackles and ends up getting brought down by, looks like, number 70, Adani. Oh, no, that's a Parsons player. By number 70, Kyler Charlo. That's going to be a first down for the Vikings, though.
The offensive line created a huge hole for Washington to be able to go through. Washington gets met by the linebackers, but keeps his legs going for a huge gain.
Parsons coming out, shotgun formation. They're going to hand off to Jamarian once again, and he's going to run over the tackler in the backfield. That was Sam Weaver. He's standing at 6'1", 215 pounds. He is no small man to bring down. And he's going to get a gain about 1.
Big play there from Weaver, being able to just run right past the offensive line and meet Washington before he was able to get anything going on the ground.
Coming out in the shotgun formation once again, 2nd down and 9. Trey Mack takes a snap. He's going to fake the handoff to Washington. He's going to throw out to the outside. It's going to be caught by the Parsons receiver. A good bit of tackling there. Going to bring him down short of the first down marker. Going to make it about 3rd and 1.
That was J.J. Kendrick on the reception there. Was able to reach up high, jump up for the ball, snag it, and come down and make it 3rd and very manageable here for the Parsons Vikings.
3rd and about 1 as the Vikings come out getting ready to take the snap. 2 to the near side. 1 tight end stacked on the far. Mack takes a snap, going to hand off to Washington. He's going to try and break to the outside. They're not going to make the tackle, and that's going to be a Viking touchdown. A stand-up touchdown for number 22, Jamarian Washington.
This is what the Baxter Springs Lions defense saw last season. Was Jamarian Washington just doing whatever he wanted to, essentially. Washington there was able to break it to the outside, got met by a Lions defender, but able to just stiff-arm him and walk into the touchdown.
It almost seemed nonchalant how he kind of just hopped into the end zone. It's almost like he didn't even care that he was scoring a touchdown. Not something we'll see for the rest of the night, though, as Jace Quirin gets up for the kick. That's going to be high, but right through the middle. And it's going to be 7-0 Vikings lead. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have a Vikings rally. A Lions rally. We want the Lions to come back here. You're watching Baxter Springs football on Baxter Springs Sports.
Route 66 Hardware is your trusted hardware store in the heart of Baxter Springs, with just about everything you might need from around the house to the back 40. Top quality tools, equipment, and supplies with a wide range of products. Be on the lookout for big changes coming to Route 66 Hardware. All inventory has been discounted to make room for a new line of products from an all-new vendor. Be patient as Route 66 looks to grow, expand, and continue their commitment to quality customer service. Route 66 Hardware in Baxter Springs.
Welcome back out here to Baxter Springs, Kansas, as Jace Quirin, the kicker for the Parsons Vikings, gets ready to kick off. He's going to send that one deep. This one's going to go over Grant's head, I imagine. Yes, through the back of the end zone for a touchback. So the Lions going to start their drive on the 20-yard line. Hopefully a better outcome on this drive. Instead of a pigskin in the grass, we want a pigskin in the touchdown. As it's been kind of a familiar theme this year. Lions have not started off too hot in their opening drive in any game so far this year. Even though they are 3-0, they've always managed to come back in the second half. They still have not started off hot. It always seems like they're a little bit sluggish to start off. As they come out here on the 20-yard line for 1st and 10. It's going to be under center once again, a single back formation, 2 wide receivers to the far side. Gaines takes a snap. He's going to hand off to Alexander. Alexander going to make a cut inside. He's going to run behind his blockers. Going to get just about nothing there, though, maybe half a football. And it's going to be 2nd down.
The Vikings defense doing a very good job so far, being able to see the handoff and swarm the football as soon as they know that it's a run. And we've seen that here as Javen Alexander gets brought down by 4 or 5 white jerseys.
Lions coming out from the 20.5-yard line. This is a bit of interesting play by the Lions. I did not expect under the center runs tonight as Gaines rolls out to the near side. Jamarian Washington chasing him. He's just going to chuck it as far as he can to his own sideline. A good decision there to avoid the stack and avoid the large loss.
The first pass play of the game for the Lions doesn't go how they want it to.
Doesn't go how they want it to at all, but we haven't seen very successful passing these last couple games. Looking to obviously bring that back here, but this is a tough challenge. This Parsons team is faster, quicker, and bigger, also deeper on the depth chart than the last teams that we have faced. So the Lions going to need to figure it out quick what they're going to do, if they're going to stick to this under the center formation or if they're going to go back to the old faithful. Gains under center, 2 receivers to each side. Drops back, rolling out to the near side. He's just going to heave it up to Grant, going to give him a chance for it, and that's going to be incomplete, batted down by the defender. That's number 7, Mekhi Baugh.
Gaines rolls out, gets hit as he threw the ball. Comes up stumbling a little bit. Just gives a prayer to his playmaker out towards the sideline, and Jacob Grant. Grant having to turn from a wide receiver to a corner real fast to make sure that wasn't an interception.
And he's going to turn into a punter here as he comes out in the punting formation. Vikings got 2 men deep to receive the punt. Snap is good. The kick is up. And it is a big kick. Fielded out about the 35-yard line. He makes a man miss. He's going to cut back to the outside. And he's got a bit of green grass in front of him here. Only a few Lions defenders to beat. And a good tackle by Jacob Grant, able to force him out of bounds and stop his momentum. But he's going to take it from one 35 to the other 35, and that's where the Vikings will start.
A big return by J.J. Kendrick. Jacob Grant has a massive punt to try to pin the Parsons Vikings in deep, but Kendrick able to make 1 man miss, able to make 2 men miss, able to make 3, 4, just about half of the Baxter Springs Lions miss, and it takes the punter to be able to take him down.
And this is... Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, once again, Vikings starting in tremendous territory.
I was just about to say that. I think we were in each other's wavelength there. It's going to be a huge battle tonight. Whether or not the Vikings execute here does not matter. If they're going to keep having good field position, it's going to put the Lions in a bad spot. They're coming out in a 5-man front, and a blitz coming from Tolbert. He's going to go for the tackle, not going to make it, though. And a couple of arm tackles, not going to happen. Everybody diving for Jamarian's ankles, but he's just going to make everyone miss. And he's just got 1 line to beat. And that's Javen Alexander. He's able to push him out of bounds, though. And that was about an 18-yard run. After missing a bunch of tackles, the Lions in trouble.
So Washington went to the right sideline. Alexander is the left outside linebacker. He had to go across the field to try to take down Washington after Washington, once again, making just about half the defense miss.
And that's going to be a tall task for the Lions tonight. A good hustle play by Alexander, but they cannot be having that the rest of the night as they hand off to number 24 here, not their usual bruiser in the backfield. That is, it looks like Chandler Henson. And he's going to go for a gain of about 2.
Yeah, Washington taking a break for a play out there. The Baxter Springs Lions defense able to capitalize it and keep it to a minimal gain.
Vikings coming out in that classic formation. Mack takes a snap, handoff to Henson once again. He's going to cut up field and a good ankle tackle there by number 51, I believe. If I am correct, that is Gage Mackard. And it's going to be third down from about the 5, call it 6-yard line.
So something interesting to me about their formation is the way that the tight end is lined up. The tight end is not lined up facing the defense. He's facing more of the backfield, so then that way he can try to run down the line of scrimmage and go through the hole as a lead blocker with a running start.
That's exactly right. Mack going to pull the snap, and he's playing a game of dance, a little bit of just dance in the backfield as he prances around, makes a couple men miss, but ultimately does not get back to the line of scrimmage. Going to be a loss of 1 and 4th down for the Vikings. Let's see if they bring that field goal unit onto the field, and they will. And that's something that we might see our Lions do later on in this game.
It was a beautifully timed blitz from Sam Weaver and Nick Tolbert, able to blow through the line as soon as the ball gets snapped, and a big third down stop for the Baxter Springs Lions.
A good stop here is Chase Quirren for the Vikings. Has the kick up, and it's going to be good. So that'll make it 10-0. Vikings lead. We'll take another quick break. When we come back, we'll have a better Lions possession, possibly a touchdown. You're watching Baxter Springs football on Baxter Springs Sports Live.
For more than 20 years, Gherkin Rental has been the place to go to get the job done in eastern Kansas and western Missouri. With a huge selection of quality equipment, from roll-offs to trailers, telehandlers to generators, power washers to popcorn makers. Experienced equipment professionals and clean, well-maintained tools to help you get the job done right the first time. Gherkin Rental. Stop by any of their 13 locations across the KC Metro or call 855-GHERKINS. That's 855-437-5367.
Welcome back out here to the Lions Den in Baxter Springs, Kansas. John R. Hughes Memorial Stadium as the Vikings get ready to kick off again. Now, we saw a similar situation last week against Afton. Afton leading 12-0 at one point. The Lions, I keep wanting to say Vikings. I don't know why. Lions would end up coming back and winning that game. This ball going to go over Grant's head into the end zone. That's going to be a touchback. And so the Lions will start off at the 20-yard line.
That was very close to being the best case scenario for the Vikings. Ball hits at the 3-yard line and just looks like it bounces up and stops. Luckily, it's able to roll just the teeniest bit into the end zone, and that changed the trajectory from starting at the 1-yard line to starting at the 20 for the Lions.
Lions going to start at the 20-yard line. Let's see if things turn out a little bit better for them. As it looks, and I hope it looks, they're going to go back to the old pistol formation, which we're used to. They're going to take the snap, run the speed off into the outside. He's going to pitch a forward pass, and that's going to be incomplete. Lions just don't look like themselves right now here in this first quarter.
It was a very difficult decision for Gaines to make. Gaines had a defensive lineman coming straight towards him, yet if he pitched it, Alexander had 2 linebackers on him. So it was either Gaines takes a big hit or Alexander takes a big hit, and Gaines just decides to throw it away.
Looks like he elected for the incomplete pass instead, which I need to mark down in the stat sheet. Either way, they're going to come out here on their own 20-yard line for 2nd down and 10. Going to be a quick screen out to the outside. Alexander going to go to the outside, but he's going to be wrapped up quick on about the 21-yard line. Call it 20-yard line. And it's going to be a gain of nothing and 3rd down and 10.
The Lions love to run those quick wide receiver screens. Vikings, looking at some film, realizing that Javen Alexander was able to try to get to the corner, but his man just beat him there and was able to tackle him out of bounds for no gain.
It almost looked like the Lions were trying to shock the Vikings with what they came out in, coming out in the single back formation. Going to have to just eat this one. He's going to go down after being taken down in the backfield by, it looks like, number 25, that is DeMonta Kendrick. And that's going to bring up a 4th down and forever for the Lions. Another possession ending on a turnover on downs.
Gaines was rearing his arm back to pass. However, he saw the defensive line closing on him quickly, and instead of getting the ball knocked out, he just elects to take the sack and lets his team punt the ball away.
Probably a good decision there, as it probably would have ended up in an interception of sorts, as Grant puts his whole leg into this one. It's going to be fielded at about the 49-yard line. Kendrick takes it. He's going to cut out to the right side of the field. There is a flag on the play. He's going to be taken out of bounds. It looks like the 32-yard line. I didn't see where he officially came out, but we'll see what the flag is. A little bit of a conference between the refs. As the Whitecap gets the information, I think it's going to be on the Lions. So that'll make this start probably about the 25, maybe the 20-yard line, depending on what the final spot is. Yes, it is going to be holding on the Lions. And they're going to start the possession at the 15-yard line. Okay, so another rough field position battle here.
So the starting field positions for the Parsons Vikings has been the 25-yard line, the 35-yard line, and now the 15-yard line. All in Lions territory.
So basically, if they don't score here, it'd be a really good stand for the Lions defense. They're going to fake the pitch, do a sweep, and a couple of good blocks downfield. It's going to give number 10, Nasir Hagood, an easy touchdown for the Vikings. That's going to make it 16-0, pending the extra point.
The Vikings come out, do a little fake speed option there. As soon as he looks to pitch it out to Washington, who's already been having a good game so far, he flicks it back to the wide receiver that's coming around, and once he gets the ball, there's nothing but blockers and daylight in front of him.
Vikings on for the extra point. The kick is up and right through the middle. Through the two uprights, and it's going to make it 17-10. Lions trailing big here in the first quarter with 3.5 minutes to go. You're watching Baxter Springs football on Baxter Springs Sports Live.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to embark on a mouth-watering journey down the legendary Route 66? Look no further than Bricks and Brews Woodfire Grill and Pub in the heart of Baxter Springs, Kansas. Start your culinary adventure with their delicious wood-fired pizzas. Keep it rolling with their classic appetizers and crisp salads. Plus, don't miss live music and so much more. Take a detour from the ordinary and head to Bricks and Brews in Baxter Springs, a taste bud trip down Route 66.
Welcome back out here to Baxter Springs, Kansas. As a 17-0 lead is on the scoreboard right now for the Parsons Vikings. They're getting ready to kick off. Now, I thought before the game I had a chance to talk to Coach Scheibe over there on the opposite side of the field, and he gave me the coach talk as we were putting it beforehand, but asked him what he thought this game would be like, and he said, well, want my players to come out and play good. You guys got a good nose tackle I saw. So we're going to have to try and attack that, and it's been nothing but runs for the Vikings so far. And it seems like that is exactly what they're attacking as Grant gets a couple of good blocks, and that's going to be a definite horse collar tackle as they see the flag come over here on the 35-yard line from the sideline judge.
A very short pooch kick from J.C. Quirin, the senior kicker out there for the Parsons Vikings. Grant able to run up, catch the ball in stride, start to get some good field position. And all it took was one Viking to reach his hand out and get his hand inside the shoulder pads and that'll give the Lions very good starting field position.
The best they've had all night, and all it took was a horse collar tackle by the Vikings. Coming out in the pistol formation, at least it stands right now, with Sam Weaver in the backfield, 3 receivers at the far side, 1 at the near. Gaines takes the snap, has some good blocking on the far side, rolling out. He's going to throw sidearm over the middle to Alexander, and that was a great play by number 3, Caden Berry, able to break that one up. Ball was in Alexander's hand, and he just got his hand in there and knocked it out, and that's going to make it 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, you said it absolutely perfectly. Alexander was able to reach out, get the ball in his hands, but as soon as the ball hit his hands, Caden Berry runs through, slaps the ball down, makes it an incomplete pass.
I'm being told by our wonderful cameraman, Nolan Commons, that Easton Durbin is in for Avery Hunt tonight in the lineman position. As Gaines goes under center, takes the snap, hands off to Alexander. Alexander running full speed ahead, but it's going to go straight into a bunch of yellow helmets. And he looks like he might have lost a yard there. Maybe half a football, and it's going to bring up 3rd down.
The defensive line for the Parsons Vikings all over the place, has been able to get tremendous pressure on the quarterback, has not been allowing the run game to get going for the Lions. And it's all due to just being able to win their one-on-one matchups.
Lions coming out 3rd down and 10 on the 48-yard line. Gaines in the pistol formation, 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. Gaines takes a snap. He's going to roll out to this side. Throwing it deep down the sideline. No one's going to be there. And it's going to be incomplete. And another 4th down for the Lions. We'll see what they call on here. If they're going to punt or if they're just going to elect to go for it. My personal vote is go for it. But it looks like McCoy's going to disagree. That'll bring out the punt formation.
Another 3 and out here for the Lions. Lions were able to get a little bit of yardage from run plays on the first drive, but ever since that ended up in a fumble, they haven't been running the ball as much.
3 turnovers on downs as Grant boots this one away. It's going to land at about 20-yard line. It's going to stick right there, too. So it looks like the Vikings going to start on the 22-yard line. After another turnover on downs for the Lions. But the bright side, which I always like to look to, is that they did not give the Vikings good field position here. So if there's anything to look at that's a little bit brighter than what has been before, and as I turn myself down a little bit, I just realized I was talking really loud, is that the Vikings are not starting somewhere in Baxter Springs territory. As last drive started on the 15, the drive before that was like the 35. As Mack is in the backfield, takes a snap, a well-timed blitz coming, but it's going to be a quick pass out to, that looks like, once again, number 10, Hagood. A little bit of a speedster on the outside, and he's going to gain about 4.
Mack, sensing the pressure coming fast from the Lions defense, able to hit the quick check down to Hagood, gets it into a 2nd and 5 scenario.
Seems like the game plan for McCoy tonight is send a lot of pressure quickly, and I do not disagree with him with how quick this Vikings team is. As they come out in the shotgun formation with 4 receivers out wide. Mack takes a snap, pump fakes. He's going to throw it deep over the middle, and that's going to be over everyone's head. Incomplete. Going to bring up 3rd down at about 6. Third down and 6.
A flag comes in way after the play ends. Parsons Vikings trying to run away. Get back to the huddle, and the Lions defense walking back. I think the Lions are starting to throw. Yeah, Lions starting to show their frustration as an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty gets called on the Lions.
The one thing you have to do against Parsons teams is stay disciplined. They are big, fast, strong, and can run with just about any team in Kansas. If you do not stay disciplined, you will not have a chance of beating them. So flags cannot be an option for the Lions here, especially early in this game.
Yeah, a very bad penalty for the Lions here early on. They were looking at a 3rd down against the Parsons. Now they move the chains and gives them a brand new set of downs.
Mack in the backfield, going to take the snap, hand off to the man, Jamarian Washington, who's going to get a gain of about 6. And the thing about that is, it was only a gain of 6, yet it feels like a victory for the Lions. It feels like they stopped him. It feels like they stopped him short of what he's been doing all night, and it was still a gain of 6 yards. If that doesn't get fixed quick, it's going to be rough for the Lions.
Yeah, I believe that's why the Lions are sending as much pressure as they are. It's a lot easier to tackle a running back before he gets ahead of steam ahead of him. When he's across the line going full speed, it is very hard to tackle Washington.
Especially a guy as big as Washington, as Mac's going to avoid the sack, and the catch is going to be made over on the sideline like Kendrick. He got both feet in there, too. That was an NFL catch. Gaines was covering.
Yeah, Kendrick able to high point the ball, climb the ladder, snag the ball, get both feet down in bounds with coverage all over him. Big catch there from Kendrick.
Vikings starting this drive all the way back on the 22. Now they're in the Baxter 46-yard line. That field position changed quickly as Mack takes the snap and hands off to Washington. They're going to run a veer to the outside. He's going to cut up field, and he's going to just drag a body all the way to the 40, looks like 3-yard line. If I'm correct there, it looked like he had been wrapped up at the 48 behind the line of scrimmage, and he drug someone all the way to the 43-yard line.
Yeah, Nick Tolbert coming off the edge for the Lions runs all the way down the line of the scrimmage before being able to wrap up Washington and, as Daryl said, get drug about 4 yards. But once again, it feels like a win for the Lions to be able to do that, which is just crazy to think about.
It's very crazy indeed. So crazy, McCoy's going to have to take a timeout. We will as well. When you come back, we'll have... Oh, I'm sorry, that's not a timeout. That's the end of the first quarter. Well, we'll take an end of the first quarter break. When we come back, you'll have more Lions football here on Baxter Springs Sports.
Hello, Four States. This is Jay Hatfield with Jay Hatfield Motorsports. We've been serving the Four States area with motorcycles, ATVs, and side-by-sides, plus offering you parts and service since 2005. We have 2 convenient locations, Pittsburgh and Joplin, selling quality brands such as Polaris, Kawasaki, Yamaha, Can-Am, and Suzuki. Jay Hatfield has a huge inventory available for immediate delivery. We offer financing options and an extensive selection of accessories. Most important, we're making deals. Come in and get your fun started today at Jay Hatfield Motorsports in Pittsburgh or Joplin.
Welcome back out here to Baxter Springs, Kansas, as the Parsons Vikings take the field. That's the track that I was on there as they switch fields because it's now the second quarter. I'm Daryl McLean. Alongside me is Nick Butler and Nolan Commons on camera. Right now we have Nick on camera because Nolan went to go get a drink. I don't blame him. As Parsons coming out in the shotgun formation. Mack takes a snap. He's going to heave downfield. It's going to be a race between number 11s on the sideline, but it's going to be way over everyone as Nolan returns. Thank you very much, Nick, for taking over the role of camera there real quick. We appreciate it very much. Like I said, I'm Daryl McLeod. Alongside me is Nick Butler and Nolan Commons on camera. Here as it's 17-0 Vikings lead in the Lions' den. Lions have not trailed this much all season. Of course, you saw last week the Afton Eagles were up 12-0 on the Lions going in to that first quarter, but that has changed as they now face a much larger deficit. And they're going to run the slant over the middle, and he's going to break free, but a good hustle tackle by Jacob Grant going to stop him before any more damage is done. That looks like number 11, Landon Wheat, on the reception for the Vikings.
Another blitz by the Lions defense. They were able to hit Mack as he released the ball, but just a quick slant route against man coverage thrown to Landon Wheat, And he was able to just break a tackle and have a massive gain here for the second play in the second quarter.
Vikings now on the 14-yard line in scoring range. Lions need a good stand here to stop the momentum that the Vikings have. A sweep out to Henston. He's going to break a lot of tackles in the backfield and be brought down. That looks like the 11-yard line. One thing I can tell you that's going to be in my keys to the second half, what the Lions are going to need to do better in order to win this game. I got two of them so far already. It's the line as well as tackling. If they don't start wrapping up and taking players down in the backfield where they have them wrapped up in the first place, it's going to be bad news for the Lions. Mack in the backfield. Jamarian Washington flanking him to the left. Takes a snap. They're going to hand off to Jamarian. And he's going to be wrapped up, and he's going to come down, and that's what I was talking about. Got to wrap up in the backfield, especially if you're going to bring the blitz. And that's going to force third down and about 11.
Lions getting a little lucky with that call. The knee may have been down, the knee may not have been down. Either way, it gets called, and that is the first tackle for loss against Washington. And it comes at a big time when the defense has to stand up.
Have to stand up indeed, especially with them in scoring range, and they have a kicker like they do. They need to force an extra point. That's going to be thrown out to the outside, and it's going to be completed to Kendrick on about the 1-yard line.
Kendrick once again creating space in between him and a defender. If that ball was not underthrown by Mack, that would have been a touchdown. But Kendrick had to come back to get the ball, and that puts him on the 1-yard line.
It almost seemed like a calculated decision to throw it under the receiver because it was Jacob Grant on the coverage there, and I would worry too about throwing it anywhere near him. Washington going to take the snap, and he's just going to barrel forward, standing into the end zone. It's going to be another touchdown for the Vikings. That'll make it 23-0, barring the extra point here.
Jamarian Washington, 6'1", 215 pounds. That is a big body in the backfield who is able to move very quickly. It's tough to bring down.
And the kick is up, and no question about it. Let's go sailing back almost to the track. A rough start here for the Lions as there's about 10 minutes left in the second quarter. Vikings leading 24-0. When we return, we'll have a Lions offensive possession here on Baxter Springs Sports.
Our whole vision of becoming the 4-state agency was because we want to be able to grow with our clients, whether they have a lake house in Oklahoma, whether they're starting a business and expanding into Arkansas. We want to make sure that they're taken care of, whether it's home, auto, financial services, or even life insurance. We want to walk through the stages of life with our clients. That's the biggest part. That's what makes us different.
Welcome back out here to Baxter Springs, Kansas. I'm Daryl McLeod. Alongside me, Nick Butler. No one commons on camera. I got to practice at saying our names more. I found in the last game I only said it like twice. Get our names out there a little bit better. As the Vikings are now up 24-0 on the Lions. Tough task for the Lions to come back here. Double what they were trailing in the last game as Grant receives it on his 5-yard line. He's going to make a cut to the outside and be brought down at about the 20-yard line. Same line as if he would have just let that roll into the end zone. And that's where the Lions will start.
Grant on the return, able to make a man miss, but he jukes right into another yellow helmet.
And I'm not making excuses for this game so far, but it was homecoming. And like I said in that pregame show, coaches hate homecoming. You could title an autobiography that. It is just one of the worst nights ever for a football team as everyone's so distracted and focused on other things. It's hard to get your team rallied behind a certain cause, which is the Parsons Vikings right now as they hand off to Alexander up the middle, trying to do his best Washington impersonation as he tries to just barrel forward for a couple of yards, drag a couple of bodies. It's going to be a gain of about 2.
Like I said, as one of the keys to the game for the Baxter Springs Lions is to not abandon the run game. It is tough down 24, but there is still a lot of football to be played. And I think they were able to get the run game going a little bit there on the first drive, but ever since then, they've just went away from it.
It's been tough here so far. As Gaines takes a snap, going to fake the handoff. They're going to throw a screen out to the outside of Tolbert. He had one man to make miss, but it's going to be a good wrap-up tackle by him. And he's going to be body slammed. That looked like a Brock Lesnar impersonation. Took him to Suplex City. A little bit after the play there, though, his forward progress going to bring him down at the 19-yard line. And that'll be a third down and about 11.
Not the direction that the Lions want to go. They thought the screen was the right play, and it looked to be there at the very beginning when Tolbert caught the ball. However, the ability for the Vikings defense to just swarm the ball carrier has been helping them out gracefully all night long.
Vikings coming out here in the pistol formation, 3 to the far side. Alexander going to go in motion. He's going to roll out to him. He's got a bunch of green grass in front of him. He's going to pull it down. He's going to run. Good block laid by Alexander. But a flag going to be thrown at his feet. I'm going to guess he's going to be called for holding. Did look like he had a little bit of a grab on the Vikings jersey, and that's not good news for the Lions. As their first down of the night, not going to come true with that flag.
And it is a holding call. Massive heartbreaker there for the Lions. Finally able to get something on offense, and it just gets called right back. Now it's going to be 3rd and 10 once again.
Let's see if they have a little bit more magic up their sleeve. It's like I said, they have not converted a single first down all night, and we have just over 8 minutes left in the second quarter. Gaines in the pistol, 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. Vikings going to feint a blitz. Rolling out to the near side is Gaines. He's sprinting. He's going to throw it low. A tough pass for any quarterback, even NFL quarterbacks, to make. As he's throwing, that's not crossbody. That's what, side body. Either way, you never have your feet set, and that's a hard throw to make. And that's going to bring up another 4th down.
Yeah, you were right the first time. That is considered a crossbody throw while running for Gaines. And as Daryl mentioned, it is very hard for even NFL quarterbacks to complete that pass sometimes, let alone a high school quarterback. And it'll be yet again 4th down for the Lions offense.
And I know Peyton Gaines is a great athlete, but the only person I've seen make that throw consistently is number 15 for the Chiefs. As that ball is going to be downed at, looked like the 45-yard line, call it 44-yard line. That's where the Vikings going to start on offense, and our Lions going to come out and make a stop on defense. Just over 8 minutes left here in the second quarter. Vikings leading 24-0. You guys might notice we have a new score bug tonight. That's a new development. That's something that's fun that's going on for us. We got a new one created. We're always working, experimenting on what's good and better, and appreciate BJ for taking the time to make a score bug for us. That's completely unrelated news as the Vikings break the huddle here and come out to start their drive on the 44-yard line. A weird sight here is Jamarian going to line up at wide receiver. I would not want to be the cornerback that has to guard him. Mack takes the snap, empty backfield, and looking to throw the screen. The ball's on the ground, though. Mack going to dive on it. Mack. The field was a little bit wet, like I said before the game, and he's just going to drop that ball. Must have slipped out of his hands. Looked like they were trying to throw a screen to Jamarian Washington. Either way, it's going to be 2nd down and about 20.
It may have been a good thing for the Vikings that Mack did drop the ball. Javen Alexander was the one guarding Washington, and he saw through the screen the entire way. As soon as the ball was snapped, he went directly to Washington. But it's going to be a very long 2nd down.
And it looks like they're going back to old reliable here as Washington going to get the carry. He makes another man miss, juking and jiving through the tackles, and he's going to get all the way back to where this drive started, maybe a yard short of that, to about the 43-yard line.
Yeah, once again, a Lions defender able to get his hands on Washington in the backfield. but just trying for the ankle tackle. Washington able to step through it and get 9 yards picked up. Makes it a lot better for third down.
Something that's going to be preached at halftime is wrap up, stay on your feet, make the tackle. As the Vikings going to take a timeout here, talk things over for this 3rd down and 11 play. When we come back, we'll have that play for you here on Baxter Springs Sports. Welcome back out here to Baxter Springs, Kansas, here in the Lions' den as the Vikings lead 24-0 and face a 3rd down and long. Lions look for the inaugural stop of the night as they have not been able to stop this Vikings offense. Blitz coming here from the Lions, but it's going to be held quickly. And it's going to be intercepted by Sam Weaver. Ball's going to be tipped around, an immaculate reception by Sam Weaver. He's going to take it all the way down. Number 22, Sam Weaver, tackled by number 22, Jamarian Washington. At about the 20-yard line, maybe that's the break the Lions needed.
That could be what the Lions needed here to get this ball rolling. Mack tries for the short slant. However, the receiver gets met as soon as the ball reaches him. The ball gets popped up into the air and right into the hands of Weaver. Weaver in the right place in the right time makes a big play and gives the Lions offense tremendous starting field position.
Gaines coming out under center. He's going to take the snap, hand off to Alexander. Alexander going to make a little spin move, but once again, not going to be much for him. Call it a gain of 3.
Alexander gets to the line of scrimmage, gets through the hole, and immediately gets met by a linebacker there from Vikings. He's able to spin away from it and fall forward for a couple of yards. The run game here for the Lions could be big. Lions trying to get their first down of the night.
Trying to get the first down of the night, as looks like they're having some substitution issues as they're coming out in the I-form formation, an old classic. Going to run the toss sweep out to Alexander, going to cut it upfield quick, but it'll be wrapped up. It almost looks like he had to fight to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a loss of about half a yard, and that'll bring 3rd down and about 7.
Definitely not the way that you want to go after that first down play. They figured trying to pound the ball in between the tackles wasn't working as well as they thought it would, so the sweep outside might be able to pick them up a little bit of yardage, and instead it brings them back about a yard.
Gaines coming out in the shotgun formation. Alexander flanking him to the right side. Gaines takes the snap, going to hand off to Alexander. An unexpected draw there for Alexander. He's going to make a couple cuts and get up to what looks like the 7-yard line. And that'll be a Lion first down, the inaugural first down of the night. Unable to obtain it until now. And they're going to have 1st and goal.
A big play there from Alexander. The Vikings defense thinking that the Lions were going to pass. Instead, the Lions having a beautiful halfback draw play call, catching the Vikings defense off guard, and Alexander runs for about 10 yards.
Under center once again. Gaines takes the snap, and it's going to be fumbled once again. He's going to just have to dive on this one. I got to tell you, I'm not a fan of this offense. I know that's not my choice to make, and I know people might be laughing at me, especially the old heads, because this is a good running formation. But man, it's just not as fun as the pistol run and gun that we've been seeing all season from the Lions as they come out here and 2nd down and goal from the 9-yard line. Going to be a screen out to Grant. It's going to be dropped. Had it in his hands, was looking for the end zone before he was looking for the ball. And that's going to bring up 3rd down.
That is so disheartening for the Lions. The Vikings were guessing run on that play. They had the box stacked up. There was only one corner out there to guard both wide receivers. So the blocking wide receiver was able to block the corner out there, and Grant would have had a walk-in touchdown had he just been able to catch the ball.
And this has been heartbreaking so far after the huge interception by Sam Weaver, who now is in the backfield behind Gaines. Gaines takes the snap, and he's going to run to the outside. He's going to get a break from Alexander, and he's going to go for it. Taken down at what looks like the 2-yard line. A good run by Gaines, but it's not quite enough. It's going to bring down 4th down for the Lions. A quarterback draw for the Lions.
Lions head coach Jeff McCoy put in a difficult spot here. Looks like he's going to try to go for it.
Looking for a pharmacy that truly cares? Look no further than Wolker Drug, your hometown pharmacy in Baxter Springs. Locally owned and rooted in our community, check out their large selection of everything you need to keep your family happy and healthy. You can even print your photos at Wolker Drug. Take advantage of their convenient drive-thru or local delivery with Wolker's Smart Cars. For seniors, Wolker offers free Medicare Part D consultations. Wolker Drug, where your health and community come together in Baxter Springs. Check us out online at wolkerdrug.com.
Route 66 Hardware is your trusted hardware store in the heart of Baxter Springs, with just about everything you might need from around the house to the back 40. Top quality tools, equipment, and supplies. Be on the lookout for big changes coming to Route 66 Hardware. All inventory has been discounted to make room for a new line of products from an all-new vendor. Be patient as Route 66 looks to grow, expand, and continue their commitment to quality customer service. Route 66 Hardware in Baxter Springs.
Hello. Hello, 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 hello. Well, it takes a second actually, so hold on. Boy, oh boy. Screen over the near side. And another touch. Please. Hello. I saw that go. So, you know what? We're going to roll with it. That's the wrong microphone, but we'll roll with it. Doesn't even matter. That's not the audio going through in the right way, but doesn't matter because we're back. We're back and better than ever, and hopefully the audio is coming through now. Yes, we're back. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. You guys were able to see everything there because Nolan is our faithful cameraman and never stops filming the game. Thank you, Nolan, once again for coming back. We were a little bit on and off there, had to change some settings around, but we're back nonetheless. I don't even understand how it could have changed, but we're back nonetheless, as that's going to go through the back of the end zone. I don't even need to recap what happened because you guys were able to watch it, but it was going to be a touchdown for the Vikings after a huge play from Landon Wheat. Going to run all the way down the sideline. A good hustle play by Alexander, though. Something we've seen in almost every single week from these Lions has been a hustle play. It started off with Grant in that first game, running a guy down all the way down to the 5-yard line. Then it happened with Gaines in Uniontown. Going to make another rundown, a chase down tackle. That's something you don't see very often as Lions go a little bit of trickery here. Some good blocking from the outside, and Grant going to have a lot of green grass in front of him. It's a foot race between Grant and the Vikings, and it's going to get down to about the 29-yard line. What a run from Grant.
We saw it earlier this game. The Vikings did their own fake speed option into a sweep from the wide receiver. This time, it's the Lions' time. Lions fake the speed option, give the ball to Grant, who's coming around the other side. Gets beautiful blocking downfield from Sam Weaver. Gets beautiful blocking downfield from Nolan Duncan, from Carson Mazzacco. And is able to just have a huge play and a huge morale booster here for the Lions.
Great downfield blocking. That's going to give him good field position here in the 29-yard line. Gaines steps back. He's going to throw a fade route over to Grant. And it's going to be incomplete. Was very close to an interception. Didn't look like Grant had a good run on the ball there. But that's going to make it 2nd down and 10.
Grant turning from wide receiver to defensive back once again very quickly. Lions trying to use the momentum from that big play, hopefully getting another big play to Grant again. They just were not able to connect on the pass. It's going to be 2nd down and 10.
2nd down and 10. From the 29-yard line. And whistle's going to fly, and there's a flag on the field. See what happens. It's going to be a false start on the Lions.
It seems like every time the Lions are able to pick up some yardage, something bad happens directly after it. Lions pick up a big 1st down, last drive, and then they have the bobbled snap. This time they have the 50-yard run, and now an incomplete pass and a false start penalty. Lions are just not able to get ahead of themselves in this game.
Seems like every time they have a little bit of momentum, they do something to change that. As Gaines going to rear back on his back foot. And it was a pass to the Vikings there, as number 6, Jason Smart, as well as it looked like number 7, Mekhi Baugh, had a free go for the ball. They miscommunicated there and dropped it. Thankfully enough for the Lions, that's going to bring up 3rd down.
The well-timed Viking blitz giving Gaines pressure. Gaines, as Darryl said, just winds it up and throws it as far as he can. Luckily, the Vikings defense did not communicate. Both went for the ball, and it bobbled and landed on the ground.
3rd down and 15, and we're going to get a timeout from the Vikings. Wanting to talk it over here with just over a minute to go in the 2nd quarter. When we come back, we'll have the remainder of that 2nd quarter here on Baxter Springs Sports Live.
Question: what will you find on all over-the-counter or OTC medicine packages to help you choose the right drug and use it safely? The answer: the drug facts label. This label lists the medicine's active ingredients and purpose, how much to take, and warnings you should know before using it. Remember, even OTC medicines you buy without a prescription can cause side effects you don't want. So follow the information listed on the drug facts label. For more information, visit fda.gov/drug facts label. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Welcome back out here to Baxter Springs, Kansas, as the Lions face a 3rd down and long after a set of really good plays. Just when I thought the momentum was going our way, we have a flag and then an incomplete pass, and now it's 3rd down and forever as Gaines come out into pistol formation, 2 receivers to the far side. Gaines takes a snap, looking to the far side. He's going to chuck this one deep, and he is not in good communication with his receivers right now. It just feels like he's just chucking it, line not giving him a lot of time, and that Parsons defense coming with the blitzes, and he's just chucking it downfield at this point.
There was a linebacker that went untouched through the offensive line. However, Sam Weaver did a beautiful job of stepping up and taking the blitzer away, chop blocking and making him fall down, but Gaines had plenty of time in the pocket, but he must have not felt like he did, and he just decides to not set his feet, and now it's a 4th down and very long.
And we have not had a single completed pass tonight that was not a wide receiver screen, as Lions going to take a timeout to talk over this 4th down. Just a minute to go in the 2nd quarter. You're watching Baxter Springs Sports Live.
Number one, obviously, is safety. We definitely call 811 to find out if there are any buried lines, fiber optic, whether it be telephone or pipeline or anything. Don't take a chance. Don't think you know and say, well, I don't remember anything being put in there. Call 811 and make sure that that's identified, that there isn't something there before you make that crossing. Because in the end, we want everyone.
Well, we're going to come back quick here as the Lions elect to end up punting. And that's going to be a good punt, going to be spotted down at about the 10-yard line. Sorry to the 811 PSA. Didn't get to get through your message there. Luckily, it wasn't one of our sponsors, though. As the Vikings going to start off here with just under a minute remaining in the half. It looks like they're going to spot it, yes, on the 10-yard line. So I'd say a defensive decision by McCoy there, trying to stop the Vikings from getting anything before half. But also a questionable decision, in my opinion at least. Of course, that's why I'm not a coach, so take it with a grain of salt. To not go for something here and get a little bit of momentum before half. But there's also the flip side to that where you don't get anything and then they have good field position and they score. So that's why we think in football. It's a game of chess. Throwing over the middle of the field right to Maggard. Hit him in the face. Couldn't have been more to him, but he was focused on the defender, and that's going to fall incomplete.
Yeah, between the ref ducking and Maggard having his eyes pinpointed on the wide receiver that was coming across the field, as soon as he turned his head, he didn't see the ball at all until it was too late.
Vikings coming out here, 2nd down and 10 on the 10-yard line. 46 seconds to go in the 2nd quarter and the 1st half. As people are starting to crowd the press box. And that handoff's going to go to Jamarion Washington. And he's going to be taken down in the backfield for a loss of about 5.
The Lions defense able to count the blitz because of the play clock running down. Play clock was on about 2 seconds, so the Lions defense knew that they had to get going and was just able to time it perfectly and tackle Washington for another loss.
Looks like both teams agree they're just going to let this one go to half. Going to be one more play ran as the play clock and the game clock are separated. My eyes can't move that fast, so it's going to be about this separated by nothing is what I'm going to say. And they're going to let this go into halftime. Your Lions trail by 31 here. Parsons Vikings coming in and putting on a show. Lions unable to stop it right now. Coming up next, we have the halftime show. Tune in for that. We'll have supreme analysis on the game. As you will see in the background, the dancers, the cheer team, and the band will have a performance. And we'll go over some of that first half, and then we'll talk about what's coming up in the second half and what you can expect. We'll also have a drawing, it looks like, is coming up here behind me. But for right now, we're going to take a quick break, our first of the halftime show. You're watching Baxter Springs Sports Live.
Are you drowning in clutter and need of some extra space? Look no further than the storage shed in Baxter Springs. With a wide range of sizes and options available, the storage shed has the space that suits you best with 24-hour access, all in a secure facility. They even have storage containers. Plus, the storage shed is your authorized U-Haul rental store right here in Baxter Springs. Visit them today at 2903 Military Avenue or call 620-856-3906.
Route 66 Hardware is your trusted hardware store in the heart of Baxter Springs, with just about everything you might need from around the house to the back 40. Top quality tools, equipment, and supplies with a wide range of products. Be on the lookout for big changes coming to Route 66 Hardware. All inventory has been discounted to make room for a new line of products from an all-new vendor. Be patient as Route 66 looks to grow, expand, and continue their commitment to quality customer service. Route 66 Hardware in Baxter Springs.
Our whole vision of becoming the four-state agency was because we want to be able to grow with our clients, whether they have a lake house in Oklahoma, whether they're starting a business and expanding into Arkansas. We want to make sure that they're taken care of, whether it's home, auto, financial services, or even life insurance. We want to walk through the stages of life with our clients. That's the biggest part. That's what makes us different.
What would happen if I had to pick up the phone and call 911 for one of my family members or one of my neighbors? What would I do if no one was on the other end to respond? What if there was no 911? So you can be a part of the solution.
Anybody can be a firefighter. Male, female, younger, older.
We have school teachers. We have leaders in business.
Is me, you, anyone that wants to be.
There is no typical firefighter.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
Well, welcome back out here to Baxter Springs, Kansas at John R. Hughes Memorial Stadium. The Vikings taking the trek east here and have also gained a 31-0 lead over the Lions. A rough first half for the Lions. They haven't had a great first half this year, in my opinion. And you just can't do that against a good team like the Vikings. It definitely will show if you don't start off hot and continue to be hot throughout the whole game. And it's showing here, as you can see the band playing in the background. 31-0. As we get deeper into our halftime show, I'd like to let you know that the halftime show is brought to you by Leah Smith Farmers Insurance 4-State Agency. Serving Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Missouri, Leah and her team have the products, services, and experience you're looking for. Give them a call today and see why they are more than just insurance. Well, Nick, that first half was rough. We cannot deny it. We can't say anything else. I always look for the bright side in situations, and the bright side here is that it's homecoming, so everyone's in a good mood. Naturally, although you never want to lose on homecoming, the bright side is that, like you said, this is better than the last year's game against Parsons Vikings, where Parsons came out and laid the hammer down against Baxter after they led at 55 at halftime. That's a shocking score. I couldn't even believe it when you showed me it on the paper. I have some stats for you guys here in a second, but I'd like to just get into some first half analysis here. Nick Butler, what are your thoughts on that first half from the Lions?
The Baxter Lions definitely have gotten out here and out physicaled out, and just the Baxter Springs Lions, it definitely shows that they have not faced a team as good as the Parsons Vikings. It's very nice and easy when the first 3 games of the season aren't against good teams. But when you come out here and go from 3 teams that, have been known for struggling to now facing a team that is respected and is known for having a really good football team, it definitely shows, as the scoreboard is showing, 31-0.
That is very true. My thoughts on the first half, just go to reiterate on that first point you made, out physicaled. I knew coming into this game that it would be the first real test. I said that last week in Afton, that it was going to be a test for the Baxter Springs Lions, but I knew that Parsons was going to be the test. They are a big team, they are a fast team, and they are a strong team. And this is no team to mess around with. They have a running back who comes in at 6'1", 215 pounds, Jamarion Washington. He's been running rampant since his sophomore year of high school. He's been just about that big for a really long time. And so you had to know coming into this game that he was going to get carries and he was going to be their workhorse, and he has been tonight. But the only thing I can think for the Lions is they have had chances. There have been several good blitz packages set up. I applaud the defensive coordinator, who I believe they said it was Dumas, I believe, is what they told me for the Lions. Or I'm sorry, Tim Parrish was who it was. They told me Tim Parrish before the game. Apologize to Tim. But they told me that they had some blitz packages set up for this game, and they have been working all night. There has been a man running free between the Vikings linemen almost every single play. The problem has been wrap-up tackles. They have slipped off the offensive players all night long. And when they don't make that tackle, the big body in the backfield gets ahead of steam and then drags a player for 3 or 4 yards. And it just seems like the Lions cannot stop him right now. And so I think coming into the second half, the adjustments that need to be made are just come out and play your game. It looked like the Lions have been playing a completely different game. They don't even look like themselves right now out there. I mean, this isn't the traditional offense that they run, which I understand. You got to come out with new tricks up your sleeve against every team that you face. But it just looks like they feel tense right now out there. So coming into the second half, I think the big change that they're going to have to make is tackling and up-front blocking. And if they can figure that out, I think they might just have a comeback up their sleeve. I'll never doubt or count out these Lions. We're going to take our second break here of the halftime show, the Leah Smith Farmers Insurance 4-State Agency halftime show. When we come back, we'll have some halftime stats and a look around the league. You're watching the halftime show here on Baxter Springs Sports Live.
Looking for a pharmacy that truly cares? Look no further than Volker Drug, your hometown pharmacy in Baxter Springs. Locally owned and rooted in our community, check out their large selection of everything you need to keep your family happy and healthy. You can even print your photos at Volker Drug. Take advantage of their convenient drive-thru or local delivery with Volker's smart cars. For seniors, Volker offers free Medicare Part D consultations. Volker Drug, where your health and community come together in Baxter Springs. Check us out online at volkerdrug.com.
The Supplemental Security Income Program provides monthly payments to help meet basic needs, like putting food on the table, paying the rent, or buying new shoes for growing feet. You may qualify if your income and financial resources are low and you are 65 or older, or an adult or child with a disability or who is blind. Call 1-800-772-1213 or go to ssa.gov/SSI to start to apply. Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Hello, Four States. This is Jay Hatfield with Jay Hatfield Motorsports. We've been serving the Four States area with motorcycles, ATVs, and side-by-sides, plus offering you parts and service since 2005. We have 2 convenient locations, Pittsburgh and Joplin, selling quality brands such as Polaris, Kawasaki, Yamaha, Can-Am, and Suzuki. Jay Hatfield has a huge inventory available for immediate delivery. We offer financing options and an extensive selection of accessories. Most important, we're making deals. Come in and get your fun started today at Jay Hatfield Motorsports in Pittsburgh or Joplin.
For more than 20 years, Gherkin Rental has been the place to go to get the job done in eastern Kansas and western Missouri. With a huge selection of quality equipment, from roll-offs to trailers, telehandlers to generators, power washers to popcorn makers. Experienced equipment professionals and clean, well-maintained tools to help you get the job done right the first time. Gherkin Rental. Stop by any of their 13 locations across the KC Metro or call 855-GHERKINS. That's 855-437-5367.
I was raised in a small town, and there was a lot of people who took time to invest in me. And so when we decided to open up our offices, we want to make sure that we're pouring back into the community that's giving to us. We care. We want to be involved. We want to have a passion for what you have a passion for. We want to be able to give back. And that's the foundation. That's why we're more than just insurance.
Welcome back out here to Baxter Springs, Kansas. As you can see, the Baxter Lion dance team doing a performance there out on the 50-yard line. A rough first half for the Lions as they trail 31-0 against the Parsons Vikings. Enough talk about football, though, from Baxter Springs. I'd like to take a look around the league, and a score that I showed Nick, and we both kind of gasped at it. We knew it would be a blowout. We knew the game would be taken care of. But I didn't expect it to be this bad. St. Mary's taking the trek down to Southeast, currently leading 41-0 at halftime. The Panthers with a dominant lead over the Lancers currently. The game that I said was going to be a good one to watch, Frontenac versus Girard. Frontenac at Girard tonight. The Raiders leading 21-6 over the Trojans at halftime. The Galena Bulldogs against the Columbus Titans, a game that I said would also be interesting because they both lost a lot of seniors, so it's going to be a battle of the youngins over there in Columbus, over there to the west. Galena leading 6-0. Not a high-scoring game. Honestly, not something that surprises me too much. If you care at all about Missouri football, Webb City is leading 14-0 over the Ozark Tigers. Joplin trailing 13-21 to the Nixa Eagles. Another game that I had in our area matchups, Pittsburgh Dragons host Fort Scott tonight as the Tigers are trailing 20-8 in that matchup. Riverton beating the Fredonia Yellow Jackets 51-6 at half. Another huge lead over there in Kansas football. Nolan Common told me to look out for Quapaw tonight, and Quapaw is currently tied 0-0 against Concord. Sorry, that's Colcord. Never seen that name before. Either way. And then another one of our area matchups to look out for, Wichita Trinity, the Knights trailing 27-14 against the Heston Eagles. We got about 1:40 left here in our generic rundown of time, as the Baxter Springs Lions are sure to take the field here any second. After that, they'll have a 3-minute warm-up session. I got some stats for you guys. Back to the reality of what's happening here in this game, and not something we like to pronounce, but something that you have to nonetheless. You have to talk about every aspect of the game. It helps give people a better understanding of what's going on. Rushing yards. We have 110 rushing yards. Now, that is a good stat. when you look at it, just straight up, 110 rushing yards in that first half. But if you take away the big run by Jacob Grant, now I know it sounds silly because whenever you take away stats, obviously it's going to be skewed, but if you take away the big run, we only have 59 rushing yards. So despite the huge play giving them 51 yards of rushing, there's only been 59 other purpose yards from the line of scrimmage because the other yards that normally would see through the air, and this was very easy to tally up, is -3. It was a completed pass to Javen Alexander that went for nothing, and then a completed pass to Nick Tolbert that would be first fumbled and then picked up by him, luckily, but that's going to lead to a loss of 3. Despite that, there has been a fumble in this game, very close to a couple of interceptions, and 10 incompletions to 2 completions. So some very, very wild stats here for the Lions, not some that we're used to with this high-powered offense that we have and these skilled skill players that we have. But we got our 3-minute warm-up going on right now, so we're going to hit our last halftime spot for the night. And then when we come back, we'll give some second-half adjustments, and hopefully we'll see a Lion comeback here on Baxter Springs Sports Live.
Route 66 Hardware is your trusted hardware store in the heart of Baxter Springs, with just about everything you might need from around the house to the back 40. Top quality tools, equipment, and supplies with a wide range of products. Be on the lookout for big changes coming to Route 66 Hardware. All inventory has been discounted to make room for a new line of products from an all-new vendor. Be patient as Route 66 looks to grow, expand, and continue their commitment to quality customer service. Route 66 Hardware in Baxter Springs.
Are you drowning in clutter and need of some extra space? Look no further than the Storage Shed in Baxter Springs. With a wide range of sizes and options available, the Storage Shed has the space that suits you best with 24-hour access, all in a secure facility. They even have storage containers. Plus, the Storage Shed is your authorized U-Haul rental store right here in Baxter Springs. Visit them today at 2903 Military Avenue or call 620-856-3906.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to embark on a mouth-watering journey down the legendary Route 66? Look no further than Bricks and Brews Woodfire Grill and Pub in the heart of Baxter Springs, Kansas. Start your culinary adventure with their delicious wood-fired pizzas. Keep it rolling with their classic appetizers and crisp salads. Plus, don't miss live music and so much more. Take a detour from the ordinary and head to Bricks and Brews in Baxter Springs, a taste bud trip down Route 66.
Well, welcome back out here to Baxter Springs, Kansas. As you can see, the Lions getting ready to tee off for the second half kickoff. They elected to receive in that first half and then led to a fumble in that first drive, but that's all bygones be bygones. Like an old coach used to tell me, you got to have amnesia. Anytime something goes wrong, you got to just pick yourself back up and move on. That coach's name was Joey Davenport, an old coach, old baseball coach of mine. He was a good dude, but I think his words of wisdom still reign in every single thing that you have to do. Something bad happens, you got to be able to pick yourself up, move on. Assess the mistake that happened, but move on. Nick and I were talking before halftime, before we came back. It's going to be key here for the Lions to be able to wrap up, tackle as we get ready to kick off the second half. Jacob Grant gets the whistle, looks to his comrades, and we're off here in the second half. And that's going to be our first display of kicking from Grant all night. And with no shock, it's going to go all the way back through the end zone. Maybe a little bit of frustration on the kick from Grant there. He's going to boot it as far as he can. Vikings going to start on the 20-yard line and be the first to have the ball here in the third quarter. We're going to get to see what their game plan is coming in to this third quarter, if they're going to keep with this ground pound type offense that's been working so well for them so far, or if they're going to try something different. I wouldn't if I were them. Mac? Gone. I'm actually curious to see what they call here. It's definitely going to be an offsides on the Lions. Encroachment, I guess, is the technical term. But they tackled the center there, so it was kind of interesting. Either way, it's going to be encroachment on the Lions, and that's going to be a quick, I believe, 5-yard penalty. So it'll be 1st down and 5 for the Vikings here from their own 25-yard line. Mack in the backfield with Jamarian flanking him to the near side. Going to hand off to said running back, and he's going to have a lot of grass in front of him. He's got one man to beat, and that's Mazzocco. Mazzocco in a foot race with him. He's going to try and track him down, but there's just no stopping Jamarian Washington, and he's going to go out at about the 4-yard line. An explosive run from Washington. Great blocks up front, going to have a huge hole, and it was nothing but daylight in front of him. Luckily, we had a couple of Baxter Lions be able to chase him down and stop him before he reached the end zone. Not the start you wanted for the Lions. If they had any hope of a comeback, it's going to have to be here. Start here in the first drive of the third quarter. They're going to have to get a stop so that they can regain some of the momentum. And we're going to have to see that quick as the blitz coming. And Washington going to just prance into the end zone. Another broken tackle for Washington, and he's just going to jog in. And that'll be another 6 points for the Vikings. I about said another 6 points for Jamarion, but who am I kidding? It is, anyways. As Jace, I believe it's Quirren, right? Yes, it is. Jace Quirren comes on to kick. Snap is up. And it's good. And that's a very quick score. Only 19 seconds came off the clock there as the Vikings now lead 38-0. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the first possession for the Lions of the second half here on Baxter Springs Sports Live.
Route 66 Hardware is your trusted hardware store in the heart of Baxter Springs, with just about everything you might need from around the house to the back 40. Top quality tools, equipment, and supplies with a wide range of products. Be on the lookout for big changes coming to Route 66 Hardware. All inventory has been discounted to make room for a new line of products from an all-new...
Over the break, just a couple of plays, an incomplete pass. And that commercial's still playing. Cool. Well, doesn't really matter anyways, does it? Hopefully we're back online. Yeah, it shows we're showing. It shows we're playing. Yeah.
Their live stream crashed and they didn't hear this. What?
All right. Hopefully we're back. Hopefully you guys can all hear me now as the Vikings take over on a 33-yard line after a turnover on down. It's going to do a little bit of trickery, handoff for the tight end, the first time all night. He's going to have a lot of green grass in front of him after he got a couple of good blocks. He's going to make another man miss. He's juking and jiving all the way down to about the 47-yard line. And I don't know if you guys heard that, but I'd like to say hi once again to Jerry Harmon in Cedar Heights, California, who wants to says hi to you as we are broadcasting here in Baxter Springs, Kansas. I appreciate you watching from so far away. I'm sorry if your stream crashed once again, as it did last week. It's just been nonstop difficulties here in Baxter Springs, and it's been difficulties for the Lions on the field, but not here, though. They're going to catch a break. It looks like there's a flag on the Vikings as everyone's walking back. The fortunate break. Once again, I'd like to say hi to Jerry Harmon in Cedar Heights, California. Well, it's going to end up 1st and 5 for the Vikings somehow. I'm not really sure how that happened, but either way, 1st down and 5 for the Vikings as there's 9 minutes and 53 seconds left here in the third quarter. What is going on here for the formation of the Vikings? Doing a little switcheroo as the whole entire team switches sides. Mack takes the snap. He's looking deep. He is going to throw deep to Wheat. Good coverage from Jacob Grant. I hear the Vikings announcers over here asking for a hold, but they're not going to get it. And it's going to be 2nd down and about 5 for the Vikings.
Yeah, the coverage from Grant, the entire reason why Wheat was not able to get the ball or see the ball into the breadbasket. A beautiful pass from the quarterback there, from the Parsons Vikings. That is Mack. And Grant just able to knock it down.
And that's honestly great coverage. Tolbert coming on a blitz there had to stop himself very quickly. Another broken tackle on the far side, and they're going to end up gaining about 2 yards. Going back to the previous play, though, that was great coverage by Grant. Not a lot of people know that you can have a hand on the defender as long as you are actively looking for the ball. Because if you couldn't, then it would be just impossible for you to make a play on it. So, good coverage by Grant there. But we need good coverage here on this play as it's 3rd down and about, I'm going to call it 4, maybe 3. My eyes deceive me sometimes as Mack is in the shotgun formation. Jamarion Washington flanking him. And they're going to get Tolbert trying to time the blitz once again. And another play where the Lions going to shoot themselves in the foot.
Well, one adjustment that the Parsons Vikings has definitely made over the halftime break was they are now integrating long snaps, multiple snaps. Instead of letting the defense be able to guess their snap count and go right through the middle, now they're going on the 2nd snap count or the 3rd snap count and getting these free 5 yards. As Washington is just once again rampaging through the field. And Javen Alexander's fighting in the backfield with another Parsons Viking. A lot of frustration going on here throughout the field from the Baxter Springs Lions.
A lot of frustration indeed, and those frustrations starting to rise. As I told you, you have to stay disciplined against a team like the Vikings. You're not going to outmuscle them. You're going to have to play your game. And I didn't get to see what the final call was. I'm assuming unsportsmanlike conduct on the Lions.
Yes, that was the call that was made down on the field.
It wasn't both ways, though?
I do not believe so, as the ref is moving the ball.
Well, it was worth a try. One can only be so hopeful. Well, that's going to be a 15-yard penalty. And the Vikings going to take over 1st and 10 once again, now on the Baxter Springs 40-yard line.
So that has been 2 first downs and a free 20 yards from back-to-back penalties that the Lions have committed.
And that's been happening all night long. Not necessarily the 20 yards, but the unnecessary penalties, the false starts, the frustration penalties. Not disciplined. As a little tentative on the halfback screen. And he's got a lot of green grass ahead of him as he gets a block downfield. He has a huge blocker running for him downfield. What speed! What a block from number 52. That is the big man, Demise Johnson. There is a flag downfield, but I'm still incredibly impressed with the speed shown by the 6', 295-pound junior. Was running stride for stride, it almost seemed, with number 24, Chandler Hedston.
The Lions defense thinking that they're finally able to get through and get a hit on the quarterback for the Vikings. However, the Vikings just setting up a halfback screen perfectly, it seems like. And as you said, the running back having that blocker in front of him for the entire way down. Absolutely impressive athleticism from Johnson.
Yes, and I didn't get to catch what the actual penalty was, but
it was a holding call.
Holding. Yippee. Well, that's going to push them back 10 yards. Going to be first down and 20. Saves a touchdown for the Lions. As Mack is in the backfield with two receivers to the near side, one at the far. Tolbert coming on the blitz, not going to get there. Mack going to heave it downfield. And it's going to be caught by Kendrick. Going up for it over Gaines. Making the catch. Gaines got mossed on that play. And that's going to be a 40-yard completion and a first down and goal for the Vikings.
Gaines running stride for stride with Kendrick, turns his head to try to look at the ball. And right as soon as the ball gets to Kendrick, Gaines turns his head back around and just sees Kendrick rise above him and snag the ball over his body.
And now we're going to see unsportsmanlike conduct on the Lions, and I believe it's on the coaching staff, as words were said between the coach and the ref. I'm not sure which coach it was, but the frustration on display is unsportsmanlike conduct is called. Luckily, that's not on a player because we've had a couple of those tonight already, but frustration's at an all-time high right now, and Vikings going to have first down and goal from the 5-yard line. In scoring range once again, as Henson is in the backfield, not the big body of Washington. They're going to catch him offsides once again, coming in for the blitz. Tolbert gets caught offsides once again, and they have gained about 8 yards here on just penalties. And they're going to take Tolbert off the field as his frustrations are so high that they're worried he's going to get another penalty.
Yeah, a couple of teammates trying to calm Tolbert down as he's been caught offside 3 times this drive.
And Henson going to walk in untouched. Trips over his own blocker, but still going to walk in untouched. And that's going to make it 44-0. Vikings lead, barring the extra point here. Third quarter, 8 minutes and 31 seconds remaining. Chase Corrin on for the extra point. Vikings with a dominating performance so far over the Lions. It's never over till the fat lady sings. But 44 is a tough comeback to make as the snap is bobbled. And it is going to be 44 to come back from, as that extra point is going to be no good. And we'll take a quick break here. When we come back, we'll have a comeback start for your Baxter Springs Lions here on Baxter Springs Sports Live.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to embark on a mouth-watering journey down the legendary Route 66? Look no further than Bricks and Brews Woodfire Grill and Pub in the heart of Baxter Springs, Kansas. Start your culinary adventure with their delicious wood-fired pizzas. Keep it rolling with their classic appetizers and crisp salads. Plus, don't miss live music and so much more. Take a detour from the ordinary and head to Bricks and Brews in Baxter Springs, a taste bud trip down Route 66.
Welcome back out here to Baxter Springs, Kansas. As Jace Corrigan gets ready to kick off for the Vikings, a deep kick here, going to be fielded by Grant on about the 5-yard line. Grant has just a bunch of white jerseys coming after him, but he's going to make a break to the outside. He's going to have a little bit of grass in front of him. He's going to lower the shoulder, and he's going to remain standing, but going to go out of bounds. A good truck there by Grant, and the Lions going to start the drive on about the 33-yard line.
Yeah, instead of Grant trying to juke his way past the defenders this time, he just wants to rely on his speed. Is able to get past 4 defenders, give the Lions 14 yards further for better field position.
Gaines in the backfield, pistol formation, 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. Grant goes in motion. He's going to go all the way in motion. Gaines looking to throw. He's going to throw it up way over Grant's head. It's just been the same story all night. Another incomplete pass for Gaines as we dig deeper here into the third quarter.
Yeah, same thing all night long. Pressure getting to Gaines fast. Gaines not being able to set his feet and just overthrows the wide receiver.
I'm being told by our faithful cameraman, Nolan Commons, that freshmen are starting to come into the game. As we see, I believe it was the entrance of number 20, Riley Daniel, who's going to be the freshman that caught Nolan's attention as Gaines takes the snap. He's going to be running to the outside. They're running for the speed option, but he's just going to be taken down immediately. This Viking defense is ready for everything that the Lions are trying to throw at him. And we have a player down on the field. And he's going to be right back up. Looked like he needed to just catch his breath for a second. And we're going to have 3rd down and long for the Lions. The same story that I've told all night. From about the 30-yard line.
Lions have had success with the speed option. This time, Vikings defense just saw through it and was able to swarm the ball carrier.
Gaines in the backfield. Sends Mazzacco in motion. They're going to throw a flag. Probably on that motion. Illegal motion, illegal man on the play, illegal procedure, whatever the technical term of it is. They got called for it there because Mazzacco was a little bit late on coming for that signal. And that's going to bring up 3rd down at about, now I'm going to call it 18.
3rd down 19.
Nuh-uh, 3rd down and 19. I see it on the scoreboard now, of course. 3rd down and 19 as Gaines comes out with a little bit of confusion on where to line up there. 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. Under center, Gaines takes a snap. He's going to do a toss sweep, and he's going to slip and fall. Look like Sam Weaver is going to slip and fall and go down immediately. And that's going to bring up 4th down and just about a country mile to go. And that's going to bring on the punt formation for the Lions. 7 minutes and counting left in the third quarter as Jacob Grant gets ready for another punt on the night. I can't even count how many this is now. Low snap, going to be fielded by Grant. He's going to get that up and away. And it's going to be fielded on about the 45-yard line by Kendrick. Kendrick breaking to the outside. He's going to have a little bit of green grass in front of him. He's getting blocks downfield. He's going to make a cut inside, and that's going to be a touchdown for the Vikings. Touchdown Vikings. Another 6-point score for the Parsons Vikings. There is a flag on the play, though. We'll see what comes of that. Hopefully it's a flag on the Vikings so that we don't have to see another score. And it is. Let's go. Looking at the bright side here, another flag on the Vikings and a chance for the Lions to come out with a little bit of strength in their defense, maybe a little bit of faith in their defense after this abysmal play all night. I don't even know if it's abysmal play. I think it's just really good play by the Vikings. They have just dominated in every aspect of the game, through the air, through the ground, and in the trenches. It has been all Vikings. And the Lions just don't seem to have an answer right now. As the Vikings get pushed back to what looks like the 15-yard line after that penalty. We're going to have 1st down and 10 for the Vikings. Leading 44-0 with 6.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Vikings 3 receivers to the near side. Mack drops back. He's looking to the near side. Pass completed to Hagood. Hagood makes a man miss, and he's going to push his way into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Another touchdown for the Vikings. And another one for Hagood, the little speedster. As it is now 50-0.
It is very rare to see somebody that size be able to break multiple tackles on a run, but Hagood using his speed to be able to hit the defender and keep going into the end zone. Hagood only standing at 5'7", 145 pounds. Yet the power in his legs just kept driving, was able to get him into the end zone.
This is Jace Queer and tacks on the extra point. It's going to be 51-0. We're going to take a quick break as they set it for kickoff. You're watching Baxter football on Baxter Spring Sports Live.
For more than 20 years, Gherkin Rental has been the place to go to get the job done in eastern Kansas and western Missouri. With a huge selection of quality equipment, from roll-offs to trailers, telehandlers to generators, power washers to popcorn makers. Experienced equipment professionals and clean, well-maintained tools to help you get the job done right the first time. Gherkin Rental. Stop by any of their 13 locations across the KC Metro or call 855-GHERKINS. That's 855-437-5367.
Welcome back out here to Baxter Springs, Kansas, as the Lions trail 51-0 here with 6 minutes and 22 seconds left in the third quarter. You got to wonder when that running clock's going to start, as this is kicked deep to Grant. Grant going to field it on about his 5-yard line. Grant going to take it out, going to make a move on the first defender, going to cut up field and lower his shoulder, not going to get it, and a flag flies once again. And it appears it's going to be on the Lions. Another penalty on the Lions.
Yeah, holding gets called on the receiving team. And it's like you said, another penalty on the Lions. Would have been a decent kickoff return there for Grant. Was able to get up to about the 24-yard line, but penalty brings it way back.
And now the drive going to start on about the 13-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Lions. And something to note is that the starters are all but out of this game, as it looks like Isaiah Main going to come in and take over that spot for him for Peyton Gaines. I think a good decision by Coach here is that he's going to get his freshmen some action and hopefully get them to learn a little bit. As Isaiah Main's taking over for Peyton Gaines, and it's going to be a loss of a couple of yards there. I didn't see who the running back was. That looks like Wade. I believe it's Bradley Wade. Yes, I am correct. Yay. Handoff to Bradley Wade once again. He makes a quick cut, but not going to get past the line of scrimmage.
We did see Bradley Wade in Uniontown break off a big run and be able to shed some tackles himself. But this Parsons defense is a lot bigger and a lot stronger than the Uniontown defense is. So Bradley Wade not able to get past the defenders here.
Quarterback Isaiah Main in the backfield. I am saying that right, correct? Yes, I am. Isaiah Main hands off to Bradley Wade. He's going to make a couple of men miss. Something I was talking about to a couple of Baxter fans before the game is the potential talent of this freshman team. A lot of strong freshmen coming in for the Baxter Springs Lions. Wade, as I was talking to Hoot earlier, runs stride for stride with Jacob Grant, and Jacob Grant outranks him in the size by almost a foot. Bradley Wade coming in at 5'9", and Jacob Grant coming in at 6'4". I know that's an exaggeration by me, but it's still a large height difference. And to say that someone can come in and match him stride for stride in speed is something that is incredible. So a quick man in Bradley Wade at running back coming up for the freshman. And then also the potential of Isaiah Main for the Baxter Springs Lions. Number 23, Isaiah Main, just a freshman, 5'11", 135 pounds, but does it very well for the Lions. We saw earlier in the season when he came in that Southeast game after Gaines was shaken up on a play, came in and they trusted him to throw right away. something that I was really amazed at and shows the trust between a coach and a player to let your freshman quarterback just come in and air the ball out. Guaranteed it was against Southeast, and we were leading by quite a bit at that point. But I think it's still a testament to how much this coach trusts his players and how good this freshman class is going to be for the Lions in the future. As a 3-and-out happens once again for the Lions. I'm not taking a tally on that tonight, but it is plentiful right now.
Going back to the freshman talent, not only are they showing promising signs right now, but they also have a good group of guys in front of them that they are able to learn everything that they want to. Peyton Gaines able to teach Isaiah Main, the certain things that he's been able to pick up throughout his high school years. And Bradley Wade just being able to look at the people in front of him and see what they've been able to do to get success and what the older guys have been able to come in and do day in and day out for film, for weights, for stuff to help them on and off the field. And it really gives the younger guys a sense of confidence coming in, knowing that they have a leg up on potentially a leg up on other teams around the league who don't get that opportunity.
That's exactly right. And I was talking about it with one of my good friends, Jess Murphy. Jess over on the Girard call tonight. Hopefully Girard has a good comeback waiting for him. Him and Josh Lettner making the call over there on Girard Sports Live. But something I was talking about with him is a good varsity team stems from a good junior varsity team. If your JV is playing well, they're going to come in to practice every single day and give good snaps, good looks against the varsity team. And that's how you build up your varsity team and make it into what it is. And this freshman class, I guarantee, gives the varsity team a run for their money in practice, as they are nothing to joke about. As we see a lot of the freshmen coming onto the field here, we'll see how they square up against the Parsons freshmen. And that's going to be a big run from number 8, Caden Forbes. Caden Forbes. He's a freshman, 5'7", 145 pounds.
That was a good open field tackle from Chasen Sykes. Something that I haven't been able to say very much this game. The open field tackle from the Lions defense.
What number is he? I didn't get to see his number.
Number 3.
Thank you, Nick. As well as Nolan over here on my side, giving me information. Nolan, a freshman himself, prime member of the freshman class, told me that they came in second today in the volleyball game in the powder tournament as number 1, Trey Logan, going to have a lot of room to the outside. He's going to end up jogging into the end zone. Bradley Wade could have caught him there, but just not enough room. And that's going to be another touchdown for the Vikings. 57-0 Vikings lead. We're in running clock territory now as third quarter is winding down. And Jace Querin comes on once again for the extra point.
Trey Logan able to use his speed, get out to the edge. The one defender that could have tackled him, Logan just lowers his shoulder, runs through him, and from there he was off to the races, able to outrun everybody on the Lions defense and get to the end zone first.
And that's not really fair. Trey Logan's a junior. We got a bunch of freshmen playing that. I mean, come on, that's cheating, basically. As Querin knocks down the extra points, 58-0. And we sink lower into the third quarter and lower into the second half. We're going to take a quick break. You're watching Baxter football here on Baxter Springs Sports Live.
I used to drive an ambulance as an EMT, and I've always tried to be a safe driver. If people knew what I know, lives could be saved. In my car, if I see a truck or bus taking a turn, I know to take my time. When big vehicles turn right, they may swing wide to make the turn. If you try to sneak in, well, it's a lesson you'd rather not learn the hard way. When trucks and buses turn, let's you and I wait. It's our roads, it's our safety.
Welcome back out here to Baxter Springs, Kansas, as your Lions trail 58-0, and we have a running clock going here in this game. Third quarter winding down, 40 seconds left. squaring on for the kickoff. He's going to kick deep to Bradley Wade. Bradley Wade standing on the 5-yard line to receive this one, and he does. He's going to take it back. The blazing speed of Wade going to cut up the middle, going to make a couple of men miss. Something I was talking about beforehand, the potential of this freshman class. I want to focus on Bradley Wade specifically. He is going to be a spectacular athlete. Not to say that he isn't right now. I just mean when he gets more playing time here in the future for the varsity team, his feet never stop moving. He has incredible vision for a young man, and seeing that is going to be great for your future Lions. And in the future, when we call these games, it's going to be great for you guys to see a great Lions team. And the third quarter is going to come to an end, so we're going to take another break. When we come back, we'll have fourth quarter action here on Baxter Springs Sports Live.
Freedom of the press is about your right to know. It's about your right to be informed. Today, there are real threats to press freedom and your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you. Before it's too late, understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
Welcome back out here to Baxter Springs, Kansas. Lions trailing 58-0 here as the fourth quarter. Let me get that changed for you guys. You don't deserve that type of treatment. You deserve accurate information all the time, and that's what we try to give you here on Varsity Sports Live. As popcorn's getting sold 2 for $1 now. If you guys are interested in any popcorn wherever you are, come to Baxter Springs, the concession stand, selling it 2 for $1. All the proceeds go to the senior class to help them have a wonderful senior trip. I don't know, Nolan, do they go anywhere special for senior trip? Nolan says yes. Yes, they do. As Isaiah Main is in the quarterback role as we sink down this fourth quarter, getting into blowout material here. As it's 58-0, your Vikings are leading big over the Lions. Bradley Wade going to be swallowed up in the backfield immediately, not even going to get back to where this drive started. And now hot dogs are half price. Look at this go. Concession stand selling out right now. What an event. That's good for the senior class so they can fund their senior trip and prom and everything else they do. Right, Nolan? Nolan says yep. Lions come out on the field in the pistol formation. 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the far. Isaiah Main putting out a defender. Isaiah Main takes a snap. He's looking to the near side. He's going to throw. And that's going to be just out of the reach of, it looks like, number 20, Riley Daniel.
Once again, the trust in this coaching staff that they have in these freshmen to let Isaiah Main drop back and pass in games like these and when he's called upon is big for years to come. Knowing that these coaches have trust in him when he's a freshman is going to do wonders when he has to take the starting role here in about 2 years.
This is not an easy offense for a quarterback to run. No offense is easy for a quarterback to run, don't get me wrong, but this is not a handoff offense. This is a very pass-heavy offense. As that ball looked like it was tipped. It looked like it was tipped by the Vikings. Going to be recovered by the Lions, and there we go. What a way to convert a first down, a little rugby first down there. If you know anything about rugby, you can punt the ball forward to gain possession and move it and advance. That's exactly what happens here. Yeah, that's true. I indulge in rugby, Nick. I know you're looking at me questionably there, but
I very much am. I did not partake you as a man who enjoyed himself some rugby.
Hey, gorilla rugby happens weeknights, Saturday nights, anytime there's not a football game. Isaiah Main takes a snap. Looks over to the left side. Going to be a duck of a pass. Looked like it got tipped, though. And luckily it was called incomplete. As from our point of view, it kind of looked like it might have gone backwards. Either way, though, it's going to be second down and long, or second down and 10. I consider that long for the Lions.
I mean, this defensive line, whether it's the starting defensive line or the second string defensive line, they've been able to get pressure in the backfield all game long. So we see right there the tip pass. Lucky to fall incomplete there and be called incomplete and not a fumble.
Isaiah Main takes a snap. He's going to hand off to Wade. Wade going to make a cut. But he's going to be swallowed up by the Viking defensive line. It's good for a loss of, looks like 2. Call it 1. Loss of 1. Another loss for the Lions. Another loss of yardage. I stopped taking stats once the freshmen came in. Not to say that their stats aren't important, but to say that it is, so to speak, garbage time in the game where you kind of just move the game along and try to do what you can to not get your players hurt. So everything's going to be a little bit askew as Isaiah Main tries to run away and the ball's going to be on the ground. That's going to be swallowed up by number 46 for the Vikings. That is Braden Largent.
The outside linebacker blitz from Steve Logan, able to come off that edge, get Isaiah Main from behind. Main, not expecting it, loses the ball. And it's tackles like those that are tough for the quarterback to handle. You know, when you're not expecting it, comes from the blind side. He had the ball tucked in, just the outside linebacker able to get his hand in and strip the ball free before Main went fully down.
Did you say Steve Logan was in on that?
Yes.
That blitz?
Number 36, Steve Logan.
Man, that's another cheater. He's a senior playing in this garbage time against the Lions. And a good backfield tackle there. That might be the first time I've said that tonight from, looked like number 20, once again, Riley Daniel.
The running back for the Parsons Vikings, Caden Forbes, trying to follow his blockers, just wasn't able to get ahead of steam and gets tackled from behind by Riley Daniels.
Six minutes and 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Time winding down a lot faster now as it looks like the backup quarterback, I can't even see his number. It looks like number 21. I'm going to say 21, Wyatt Schultz in the game. Handed off on the outside to Caden Forbes.
So the quarterback who took the snap was actually 23, Andrew Hook.
Ooh, there you go. Andrew Hook.
Freshman that came in for Parsons, and we could tell that, you know, a new quarterback came in because the Parsons sideline was very happy about it. They like to go on and cheer on their freshmen. The Baxter Springs Lions also like to cheer on their freshmen. It's just a different circumstance when you're down by this much and nobody really has their head held up high.
It's the type of cheering we might have seen in those first 2 weeks, but definitely not in this week as a flag is thrown. Not really necessary at this point of the game, but it's going to be a false start on the Vikings. It's going to make it third down and forever. 5-yard penalty. Going to bring them back to the 46-yard line, and it's going to be third down and a lot to go.
Lions defense in good position here to get a third down stop.
And even though the young folk are in for the Vikings, it doesn't seem like they got any smaller. That offensive line still seems like a big group of boys as that handoff goes kind of awkwardly back, and a Viking player going to be taken to Suplex City now by number 50. I believe that's Avery Hunt. Yes, it is. Taking to Suplex City like Brock Lesnar. And now it's fourth down and long. See what the Vikings do. Looks like Coach Scheibe having a lot of fun with his sideline over there. Going to go for it on fourth down. Going for it on 4th down here. Takes the snap, and he's going to be tackled down immediately by Isaiah Main. 23-23 contact there. And it's going to be a turnover for the Vikings. One of the first times, I know it's not the first time, but it's one of the first times tonight that they did not score on a possession. And it's going to bring up first down for the Lions with 3 minutes and 32 seconds remaining in this game. Got a JV matchup going on in front of us as Isaiah Main in the pistol formation. 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the far. 4-man front for the Vikings. Running a 4-2, it looks like. Man coming in motion. They're going to run the toss sweep to him. And he's going to be taken down immediately. No surprise what he was doing. And going to get nowhere with that one.
Yeah, the coaching staff for the Lions trying to get Bradley Wade the ball that any way that they possibly can at this point. I mean, Wade has been the playmaker here for this JV squad. And so this time they try the jet sweep with him. However, the defense knows that Bradley Wade's the main ball carrier, and they were just on it.
Tackled down immediately in the backfield. Going to bring up 2nd down at about 14. Bradley Wade gets the ball, and absolutely no chance of going anywhere there. Vikings thought it was a fumble, but he was down by contact beforehand, so no fumble for him. As it's a loss of a ton of yards, and now it's going to be 3rd and a ton of yards. As Hoot just said, 3rd down, and I don't know. Because this is a dire situation for the Lions. 2 minutes left here in the 4th quarter. No 2-minute warning in high school football, so we're going to push on past this. Right into our post-game show. Coming up after this game is our Bricks and Brews Woodfire Grill and Pub post-game show. Tune into that to see some post-game stats as well as analysis on the game, what we can expect from our next matchup as Baxter Springs goes to take on the Galena Bulldogs. I may or may not be broadcasting that one. I'm still supposed to tell you that. We're not really sure right now if we're traveling down. I talked to BJ a little bit. He said we might just let the Galena guys cover that one. We're not too sure yet, though. I imagine we will be back down there, though, so disregard everything I just said and pretend that we're just going to be on air as usual. But coming up in the post-game show, we got stats, we got analysis, we got expert opinions, and we got preparations for the next game as the Lions look to just get something positive so that they have a little bit of bright to go in to next week. Got to be able to look past these tough games and focus on the bigger picture, which is the rest of the season. If the Baxter Springs Lions make it to the playoffs, which they have a very good start right now, and I believe they definitely can, you might be seeing this Parsons Vikings team in said playoffs. I'm pretty sure Vikings are 3A as well, and they have also started off 3-0 this season. And they're going to make it 4-0 here in a few seconds. As this clock is winding down, it looks like they're not going to elect to take another snap, and that's going to be the end of the game. So your Lions will have their first loss of the season to a very good Viking team. This is a team that will be able to take down some of the powerhouses around the league. Don't stress on this too much if you're a Lions fan. We got plenty more games to come, a long season ahead of us, and there's plenty of football left to go. A tough loss on homecoming, though, as that clock finally hit 0. 58-0, Lions lose. Your postgame show coming up next after this quick break. You're watching Baxter Springs football on Baxter Springs Sports Live.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to embark on a mouth-watering journey down the legendary Route 66? Look no further than Bricks and Brews Woodfire Grill and Pub in the heart of Baxter Springs, Kansas. Start your culinary adventure with their delicious wood-fired pizzas. Keep it rolling with their classic appetizers and crisp salads. Plus, don't miss live music and so much more. Take a detour from the ordinary and head to Bricks and Brews in Baxter Springs, a taste bud trip down Route 66. Route 66 Hardware is your trusted hardware store in the heart of Baxter Springs, with just about everything you might need from around the house to the back 40. Top quality tools, equipment, and supplies with a wide range of products. Be on the lookout for big changes coming to Route 66 Hardware. All inventory has been discounted to make room for a new line of products from an all-new vendor. Be patient as Route 66 looks to grow, expand, and continue their commitment to quality customer service. Route 66 Hardware in Baxter Springs.
Are you drowning in clutter in need of some extra space? Look no further than the Storage Shed in Baxter Springs. With a wide range of sizes and options available, the Storage Shed has the space that suits you best with 24-hour access, all in a secure facility. They even have storage containers. Plus, the Storage Shed is your authorized U-Haul rental store right here in Baxter Springs. Visit them today at 2903 Military Avenue or call 620-856-3906.
Hello, Four States. This is Jay Hatfield with Jay Hatfield Motorsports. We've been serving the Four States area with motorcycles, ATVs, and side-by-sides, plus offering you Parsons service since 2005. We have two convenient locations, Pittsburgh and Joplin, selling quality brands such as Polaris, Kawasaki, Yamaha, Can-Am, and Suzuki. Jay Hatfield has a huge inventory available for immediate delivery. We offer financing options and an extensive selection of accessories. Most important, we're making deals. Come in and get your fun started today at Jay Hatfield Motorsports in Pittsburgh or Joplin.
Dad, you need to go. Really? It's important. I feel fine. Look, you cannot mess around with this kind of stuff. Some cancers, man, we just don't want to lose you from something we could have caught. What I need to do? You just give your doctor a call. They'll tell you what screening test you need. Fine. Can I have my pie now? Oh, man.
More time before you wake up in the wild.
Our natural world needs us now. Step by step, side by side, together, we can find a way to ensure that all life on Earth can thrive. To learn more about how you can help protect and conserve nature, visit nature.org.
Well, welcome back out here to Baxter Springs, Kansas. As you can see on the logo there, I'll move it over to where we can see your Baxter Springs Lions team huddled up there talking to Coach McCoy, getting a nice little review of the night as they get ready to go to the homecoming dance and let Nolan go early because he has that dance to go boogie too. Said he was going to party all night long at it. Well, that was a rough game for the Lions, but it's one of those that you got to put out of your head and move on to next week. Like I said earlier, you got to have amnesia with some of these things. It's never going to go your way always. We had 3 good weeks there where we had looked like a stellar team. We looked like we were just dynamite. And as I help this film man out real quick, give him this cord, and we'll move on later into our post-game show. Speaking of the post-game show, I'd like to let you guys know that the post-game show is brought to you by Bricks and Brews Woodfire Grill and Pub, the perfect post-game stop. Refuel after the big game with Bricks and Brews delicious wood-fired pizza and mouth-watering appetizers. Plus, don't miss live music and more. Bricks and Brews Woodfire Grill and Pub, a taste bud trip down Route 66. Well, I ain't got much to say about that game. There really isn't much to say. What you can say, though, is move on. Nick, you got any expert analysis on the game?
I think that this game has definitely opened the eyes of some of the coaches and assistant coaches on that Baxter Springs Lions team. It is very difficult to try to, be a perfectionist when playing football, but there are definitely things that you can look at on both sides of the ball. A is blocking, and B is tackling. Those are the two things that I expect that, the Lions are going to be working on a lot this week, coming off looking at film from this game.
That's exactly right. We're going to take our second break of the post-game show. As you can see, the gentleman walking off the field there. We'll take our second break. When we get back, I'll have some stats for you guys. Look at around the league. Some of those games are finishing up now, and we let Coach McCoy go off early tonight, let him celebrate homecoming as well. Get a quick night tonight so that he can go home and watch some film and get ready for Galena next week. We continue the post-game show here after the break on Baxter Springs Sports Live.
Route 66 Hardware is your trusted hardware store in the heart of Baxter Springs, with just about everything you might need from around the house to the back 40. Top quality tools, equipment, and supplies with a wide range of products. Be on the lookout for big changes coming to Route 66 Hardware. All inventory has been discounted to make room for a new line of products from an all-new vendor. Be patient as Route 66 looks to grow, expand, and continue their commitment to quality customer service. Route 66 Hardware in Baxter Springs.
Are you drowning in clutter and need of some extra space? Look no further than the storage shed in Baxter Springs. With a wide range of sizes and options available, the storage shed has the space that suits you best with 24-hour access, all in a secure facility. They even have storage containers. Plus, the storage shed is your authorized U-Haul rental store right here in Baxter Springs. Visit them today at 2903 Military Avenue or call 620-856-3906.
Save the Children believes childhood without food is unimaginable. Yet around the world, children are suffering from the worst famine in our lifetime, coupled with conflict, poverty, climate change, and more. Join Save the Children and get fed up. Fed up with the lack of progress. Fed up with the injustice. Learn how you can get involved in the fight against childhood hunger at savethechildren.org/getfedup.
I'm fed up. We're fed up. We're fed up.
I used to drive an ambulance as an EMT, and I've always tried to be a safe driver. If people knew what I know, lives could be saved. In my car, if I see a truck or bus taking a turn, I know to take my time. When big vehicles turn right, they may swing wide to make the turn. If you try to sneak in, well, it's a lesson you'd rather not learn the hard way. When trucks and buses turn, let's you and I wait. It's our roads, it's our safety.
Our whole vision of becoming the four-state agency was because we want to be able to grow with our clients, whether they have a lake house in Oklahoma, whether they're starting a business and expanding into Arkansas. We want to make sure that they're taken care of, whether it's home, auto, financial services, or even life insurance. We want to walk through the stages of life with our clients. That's the biggest part. That's what makes us different.
Welcome back out here to Baxter Springs, Kansas, here in the Lions' Den at John R. Hughes Memorial Stadium. A tough loss tonight for the Lions, losing 58-0 to the Vikings, as I can hear the coach interview happening just across the press box for the Parsons Vikings, a much cheerier crowd over there. Well, I promised you guys some stats, so I'll give you some stats. Now, you heard after that first half we had 110 yards rushing, and I bet you can't guess what we had rushing in the second half. It was 101 total after the second half. So we lost 9 yards in the second half. It was a rough offensive performance there for our boys. Of course, I stopped taking stats after that varsity team went out. Not to say that the junior varsity team is not important, but their stats would not have combined well with mine, and nothing really changed too much on the stat. It wasn't much yards gained, wasn't much yards lost. A lot of just punts back and forth as the running clock drug that game down quick. But yeah, -9 yards in the second half for the Baxter Springs Lions, as well as 2 extra incompletions, making the total incompletions on the night 12 instead of 10. So a rough night overall for the Lions. Not going to delve too much deeper into that. Everyone knows it was a rough night. But I was just talking to Mr. Baldwin, for those of you that are watching, and this is one of the best teams we're going to face all year, and honestly, I'm not totally surprised with that outcome. I figured our Lion boys would give them a better run than that coming into this, but overall, they're just a really good ball team, and if you're going to come out and beat the Vikings, you have to play good from that opening whistle to the closing whistle, and we just did not have it tonight. The Lions just didn't look like themselves, ran a couple different plays on offense, which I agree with. You got to open up your playbook a little bit, but that fumble on the first drive and then the touchdown on the first drive from the Vikings really kind of sealed the deal and kind of set the tone for the rest of the game. And we knew going on later in the game that it was going to be real hard to come back, especially with all the momentum that the Vikings had. They're going to take a jog back west, back to their hometown, and we are going to close up shop here pretty soon. We're going to take our third break of the postgame show, though. When we come back, I'll have a look at some scores from around the area, and then that'll be all said and done here from Baxter Springs, Kansas. You're watching the postgame show on Baxter Springs Sports Live.
Looking for a pharmacy that truly cares? Look no further than Volker Drug, your hometown pharmacy in Baxter Springs. Locally owned and rooted in our community, check out their large selection of everything you need to keep your family happy and healthy. You can even print your photos at Volker Drug. Take advantage of their convenient drive-thru or local delivery with Volker's smart cars. For seniors, Volker offers free Medicare Part D consultations. Volker Drug, where your health and community come together in Baxter Springs. Check us out online at volkerdrug.com.
For more than 20 years, Gherkin Rental has been the place to go to get the job done in eastern Kansas and western Missouri. With a huge selection of quality equipment, from roll-offs to trailers, telehandlers to generators, power washers to popcorn makers. Experienced equipment professionals and clean, well-maintained tools to help you get the job done right the first time. Gherkin Rental. Stop by any of their 13 locations across the KC Metro or call 855-GHERKINS. That's 855-437-5367.
Our whole vision of becoming the 4-state agency was because we want to be able to grow with our clients, whether they have a lake house in Oklahoma, whether they're starting a business and expanding into Arkansas. We want to make sure that they're taken care of, whether it's home, auto, financial services, or even life insurance. We want to walk through the stages of life with our clients. That's the biggest part. That's what makes us different.
Welcome back out here to Baxter Springs, Kansas, in the Lions' Den here at John R. Hughes Memorial Stadium. Told you we'd take a look around the league to end this post-game show, and we will. No final score yet on the Girard Frontenac game. I'm actually pretty eager to see what the final score is of that. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get it to you guys because it's not been updated yet. The final score here was 59-0. Vikings win over the Baxter Springs Lions. Over in Southeast, the St. Mary's Colgan Panthers would take down the Southeast Lancers 53-0. Galena Bulldogs would end up losing against the Columbus Titans. So that's something to look forward to for the Lions next week. A loss for the Bulldogs and a good chance for Baxter Springs to get their momentum back against a shaking Bulldog team. Pittsburgh I believe the final score is 26-16, although it has been updated, but it's fourth quarter 26-16. I can just only assume that it's all but over. Riverton Rams take down the Fredonia Yellow Jackets 57-6. A rough one there for Fredonia, as Riverton looking like a fairly good school this year. Caney Valley, the Bull Pups, taking down Cherryvale 42-6. Caney Valley, one of those, I guess, niche teams in 3A that seems to make the playoffs every year somehow. Erie going to take down Northeast, or Arma for some of us simple folk, 56-22. And real quick, I'm going to look up the score for the Trinity game. Wichita Trinity, the team will be facing at the end of this year. And they lost big tonight, 49-14 against Heston. And Heston is a pretty good team up there, I know. The Swathers, Heston Swathers. I had no idea that was their mascot. I don't even know what the Swather is. Oh well, it doesn't really matter too much. That's all I got for you guys tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, thank you to all the sponsors. You guys are amazing, supporting us all the way, supporting us to come out and do these games, supporting us to go and travel to Galena next week and do that game, which, by the way, we will have here on Varsity Sports Live. I assume that Baxter Springs Sports Live is not going to be up for the time being because right now we're struggling with some technical difficulties with that. I apologize once again, but stay tuned to the Facebook page because they'll be posting that link every single week. So thank you guys once again. If you'd like to sponsor, please just let us know, man. We are eager to have you guys help us out and eager to get your name out there on these advertisements. We have a lot of people watching these right now, so please, please, please come and help us out. It helps get your advertisement done for the month. So I am Daryl McLeod, alongside me Nick Butler. No one comment at the dance right now, but he was on camera here just earlier. Thank you guys so much for watching. Mom, I love you so much. Thank you for giving me everything I got. That's all from Baxter Springs, Kansas.
You've been watching Baxter Springs Athletics on your new home for the Lions, Baxter Springs Sports Live. Baxter Springs Sports Live is presented by WDM. Learn more at WDMinc.net. Also by Thanks for watching, and remember to catch every second of the action right here on Baxter Springs Sports Live.